battle for Middle-earth is about to begin.
So it begins.
Send these foul beasts into the abyss!
Welcome to the Zorpazorp Battle Games in Middle-earth livestream. In this series, we cast our gaze back in time to the roots of our beloved Middle-earth strategy battle game to explore the fortnightly magazine serial Battle Games in Middle-earth. Each episode, we will delve into a single issue, poring over a treasure trove of retro gaming, following in-depth painting guides, terrain tutorials, and some crazy battle reports, all with a modern twist so you guys can enjoy them in your games at home. With each installment, we'll also focus on a release of models that accompanied the magazine, following their journey from painting bench to tabletop, and then at the end of every live stream, they'll be randomly assigned to one of our loyal Patreons to continue their days of gaming abroad, spreading the gospel of Zorpazorp. So, in the immortal words of the magazine itself, let battle commence. Nailed it! Hello everyone! Nice to see my face and miss my beautiful intro because Lockie doesn't turn his mic on. Good morning everyone, welcome to our Battle Games in Middle-earth live stream. We have got a ripper of an installment today. We are diving into all things Mines of Moria. We have got two fantastic battle reports. Balin's Tomb with the Fellowship of the Ring defending against a horde of goblins. And of course a scary, scary cave troll. And then they flee down the stairs of Khazad-dûm to the bridge and get chased by a big old flamey boy. That is of course the Balrog himself, which is going to be awesome. So two battle reports up. I have got a little bit of summary footage that I can show you of the finishing of the terrain pieces that we looked at in last stream, which is going to be pretty exciting. And there is a whole lot of you guys joining us in the chat, so welcome everybody. Obviously I've been sick, which is why we're doing this stream today, so I've still got a little bit of that, you know, chesty stuff going on, so I don't have my usual beautiful podcasting voice this morning, but no, I'm feeling heaps better, so thank you to everyone who's been asking in the chat. Everyone's laughing about the audio. Hey, I noticed super quickly. I'm all over it. That's pretty impressive considering how awake I am. So we've got, yeah, two ripper battle reports today. They're actually really great scenarios as well. For those of you who might be joining us for the first time, what a fantastic half-awake Lockie you've discovered. In this stream series, what we do is we go through one of these old retro magazines. These are from the early 2000s. They were released with a bunch of models, and in each magazine there's narrative scenarios and painting guides, and what we like to do is go through a magazine, paint up the models that came along with it, play some games, make some terrain, and then whichever models we painted up in the stream are given away to become officially sponsored models to some of our Patreons, which is it's awesome. And boy, do we have an epic giveaway today. Now, I've spoiled this a lot over the last couple of streams, but today is the day that we finally give it away. We are giving away all 9 members of the Fellowship of the Ring and a Balin's Tomb display stand. I will show you them just over there in a second. They're all ready to go, ducked in, excited to kill some cave trolls and some goblins. So all 9 members of the Fellowship of the Ring are painted up by the incredibly talented Michael Buchan from the Buck and Duck YouTube channel, which I've linked down in the description below, so definitely go and check out his awesome painting tutorials. And he's a Patreon himself and just wanted to help support the channel, and so donated that to be part of our prize prize pool today. So I'm so excited to give it away. It's an awesome giveaway. So one lucky Patreon is going to score themselves that. And usually the way the campaign works is that the Patrons become the sponsors of those models and sort of watch their journey through the live stream campaign, and then as those models retire out of magazine rotation, we get to post them out to them no matter where you live in the world. But with this giveaway, it's extra special because we don't actually need these 9 models. We have 9 other models for the campaign. You will get all 9 of these, like they will go in the post today. So you've definitely still got a chance to be in the draw. If you head over to Patreon, that's linked down in the description below. I'll update the big giveaway wheel before we spin at the end of the stream. So if you're keen to get in the draw to win yourself a fellowship, exciting stuff. D-Slide says, no Aussie says Ripper as much as Lockie. It's so true. It's so true. James Palmer says, yes, he said Ripper, I called it. Apparently my Australian vernacular is being dissected in the chat today. There is a whole bunch of you guys joining us from all over the world. What I'm going to do is grab some sexy little footage here of what I've been working on throughout the week and throw that in, and then I'll come and join you in the chat so that you don't have to look at my boring face for the entire time while we're having a look. So, this is where we finished. This is where we started off at the end of the last stream, which is where we built the full Moria board, the Balin's Tomb display board, and of course we'd also built our Dwarrowdelf board, which we'll see in a little bit. And so basically all I did here was just give that a nice dry brush to kind of lift that up off the grey primes. Actually, I'm not even sure if you guys saw it primed, so it's been primed. I used a foam safe primer first, and then which is a primer that won't melt the polystyrene, and that helps seal it. And then I just came in with my preferred grey colour. And then we just gave a really heavy dry brush over all of this, basically. Yeah, I mean, this is, as we talked about in the last stream, and if you'd like to see the full build process for these boards, there is a 5.5 hour long stream covering it, and you can check that all out. But yeah, this is very much a quick and dirty build, nice and easy, nice and clean, and the paint job is exactly the same, just some dry brush greys and a little bit of white highlighting over the top of it, and then we'll pick out Balin's Tomb and a few other details. Now, while Past Lockie furrows his way through that, let me swing on into chat and see who's joining us for this morning. Oh my god, so many of you tuning in. Yeah, sorry we're an hour later than normally. We stream at 7 PM Australian time or like 10 PM UK time, but we're back to the 8 AM, 11 PM slot, just because I need sleep if I don't want to die from the flu. So, I don't have COVID, my test came back, all good, exciting stuff. Declan Callahan's joining us. He said, I've just read the Moria chapters in the Fellowship. So excited for this one. Yeah, it's going to be so good. Jazzy's joining us. He's keen as a bean. Johnny Russell. Matty Dishner's joining us. George Ramstead. Liam says, morning lads. I believe Liam was up at 7, so sorry about that, Liam. I think I saw that in the chat. Aaron says, I've been frothing this stream for days. Sorry to hear you're still sick. I sound so much worse than I am. Because it's 7 AM and, you know, your voice does the morning raspy thing. I'm actually, like, fine. I'm actually fine. Liam's tuning in from Brizzy. Jazz says, I wonder if Lockie will look full wraith today. He was looking a bit like Frodo after he got stabbed by the Witch King. Yeah, look, by the end of the last stream, I was a little bit cooked, full disclosure. Yeah, no, I'm, he says, coughing and spluttering. I'm totally fine. No, I'm good. I'm good. Debbie's joining us from Missouri. It's 5 PM over there. Oh, that's good. You get some nice afternoon, early evening watching. 11 PM in England as Samuel's joining in. James Palmer says he's tuning in from the UK in his best Aussie accent. Looking forward to a ripper of a stream. When I was quoting your line there, James, I started to put on an Australian accent and then realised I don't have to do that because I do that by default. Keely's watching from Melbourne. He's just finished off his morning walk. Alex tuning in from Italy. You can see me there getting frustrated with the finish of my dry brush, just sort of tweaking that and doing a little bit more. And then I just wanted to really make the inscription on Balin's tomb pop, so I just brought in a diluted glaze of Lamian medium. This is my 50-50 mix, which you'll see in a lot of tutorials, particularly one lately if you've been watching the channel. Yeah, just 50-50 Lamian medium and Nuln oil all over that tombstone. But then it didn't show it up enough, so I just brought in some pure Nuln oil to really accent the recessed detail of the letters themselves. Marky Tribe says he's settling in for 8 hours of live stream. Nah, look, we've only got 2 battle reports today. We should be able to keep it under 2 hours, I reckon. It's not going to be too insane. Not going to be too insane. And then you guys mocking me for having my music off. Excellent work. Love it. Good work, Lockie. Nailed it. Kenny says, God damn it, man. Kenny always teases me for my technical difficulties. I've been so good lately. I blame it on the flu. It's not my fault. It's not my fault! That's a classic Han Solo line there. James says, thanks for recording this to share. Looks great. Yeah, I thought it was just the great thing about recording something and then talking over it in posthumously is that posthumously, doesn't that usually only apply when after you're dead? That's no, the Moria board is not dead, it's well alive. In the past, is that I can actually do it as double speed as well, which is really fun. So you guys don't have to watch the whole thing. Kenny says he's here for the gobbos. Can't wait to cheer those guys on. Elliot says, hey man, I hope you're feeling better. Looks like you got stabbed by a Morgul blade. Shout out to my wife Tammy. Shout out to my wife Tammy for Lockie getting me back into Warhammer. Hello Tammy. Hope you enjoy the stream if you're watching as well. Sam's tuning in from England. Daystro gives us the morning's Houstonian greetings. He says he's finally proud to be a Patreon. I'm his first Patreon. I feel very privileged. Thank you, my dude. And you're in the draw. You're in the draw for the big one. Our biggest prize so far. I'm so excited to spin the wheel, actually. I just hope, imagine if it lands on jackpot. I promise if it lands on jackpot, we'll give it a whirl. I'll respin. I'm not waiting another fortnight to give this thing away. James says, is there a way of recreating the ray of light coming into the tomb? Oh, that's a really cool idea. So James was suggesting maybe putting down some masking tape and doing like a spray and just sort of conveying it with paint, which could absolutely be a method of doing it. It would be cool to get like an LED in there somewhere as well, and filling the room with smoke. That would be very, very cool. Dirk is tuning in from Germany. Yes, it's very late, Dirk. I'm sorry. Sorry we didn't start the hour earlier, but I was tired. Nick Evans says, morning from Coffs, made the executive decision to skip work this morning to watch the stream. The best decision possible, I think. Just make sure that you're not, jeopardizing your financial future to tune into my live streams. I don't condone that at all. Russell's watching from Hull. James is tuning in from the UK. James Shirley is new to the hobby. Well, welcome, James. Is this your first system? Are you new to Middle-earth as a hobby? Or new to the hobby in sort of more broadly, all systems? Arnold's watching from the Arctic Circle. Arnold, is that like legit? Because that is pretty cool. You're like our Arctic Circle correspondent. How's the ice? How are the polar bears? They in the Arctic? They're in the Arctic. I got that right. And Jill says narration from the grave. No, not yet. Kenny says you look dead, so we will count it. I look fine. Leave me alone. Grandpa Monkey's tuning in from Florida. I can speak. Mike Blake finally catching a live stream in what feels like forever. Yeah, it's been a while since we've seen you, Mikey. Been loving the content. Keep it up and get better. Thanks, dude. Trying to convince my parents to let me join your Patreon. Yeah, grabbing the old parents' credit card trick. Make sure you get that permission. Dunker says hello from Belgium. Vandalin looking good, man. Tuning in from Northern Ireland. Thank you, Dutch. Pech is joining us. Pesh? I can never remember how to pronounce CH in Belgium, or in Dutch, I should say. Greetings from Belgium as well. Liam, how's the ice? That's what you ask someone in the Arctic, right? Frozen? You never know these days. Yoshua Friedman is watching from New York. So there we go. We finished. Saw me finishing up the Dwardelf board there, and now we've just got a few little things to make. I just wanted to make a couple of pillars. So these are just basically grabbing my offcuts of extruded polystyrene. Grabbing some offcuts of extruded poly, and then just slightly kind of hacking them and chipping them and kind of roughly hewing them into a shape of some pillars, some really simple pillars. You know, I probably spent 40 minutes on these max, maybe half an hour. That's how quick everything is hoping to be. Aaron says, is the stream a little bit choppy for everyone else? I'm actually watching it as well on my like viewer check screen, and it looks really smooth for me. Let me check in vMix. Yeah, it looks like it's pretty good. It could be... Oh, no, there's a little bit of lag and a little bit of buffer. But I think it's pretty good. Sometimes the Australian internet likes to misbehave, but we should be okay this morning, I think. Justin's joining us from New Orleans. Jairo Gonzalez, a Patreon, joining us from Spain. Battle King from Belgium. Architect from VA. Now, that is a slang for... Not a slang, that's a state designation in the States, I think. VA. What's VA? Oh, I can't remember what VA is. Virginia, maybe? Let me know. I'm always keen to like increase my knowledge of the American states because I post so much stuff there, and I'm always seeing the little state codes. Completely new to Lord of the Rings, says James. He used to play Fantasy 15 years ago, bought the Pelennor Fields box a few days ago to get started. Fantastic way to get into it. Hidden Dragon says the stream's fine for me. Awesome. Okay, so hopefully it's fine for most people. It might just be an internet connection. Jodnea says, sorry I can't stay for the whole stream. I've got a job interview. Fantastic. Just wanted to tune in and say hi. Well, thank you for popping in, dude. Yeah, Liam says, I'm always surprised how diverse this live stream is. Everyone is all over the place. It's crazy to me how many people tune in from all over the world. So you can see me here. Essentially what I did was I just marked out some rough kind of cracks with a pencil, and then I just came in with my knife and hacked up those cracks, basically, and ripped it with my fingers, and just tried to make it as roughly hewn and natural as possible, and then just used some skewers, toothpicks, to give them a physical bond, and then glued those all up together. Nailed it, Virginia. Absolutely. Maddie Dishon is watching from Virginia, of course, as well. Absolutely killed it. Can't believe I guessed the right state. Had to switch to YouTube. Oh, okay, so it might be Twitch that's lagging. Oh, well, screw Twitch anyway. Watch it on YouTube. Arno Duff, our one commenter in Twitch has reminded me of the sound. We're all good now, Arno. Joris is tuning in. Battle King just bought 2 Pelennor Fields kits and 500 euros worth of models to add to my older army. Thanks to you, I can finally build a battlefield. That is very cool. Very, very cool. D-Slide says, how many start with V, though? Yeah, I think Virginia's the only one that starts with V, right? Mac Attack's joining us. Hey, Mac Attack, haven't seen you live for a little while. Lovely to see you back. Aaron Noonan says, what's your recipe for Urukai skin? Well, that's an interesting question. What do we do in the live stream? Because sometimes I like to go for like a dark brown red skin. So I usually start with like a dark brown prime, like Doombull Brown or Rhinox Hide, sorry, and then layer up with Doombull Brown, which is Scorch Brown in Vallejo. And then I mix in some reds and bring in the wonderful Bloody Red. And kind of mix that into some skin tones. So there we go. We saw a little bit of my journey of hacking up some foam there, which is going to get us some pillars. And now I can show you the finished result. So then essentially this is what we've done, is I've just given them that classic texture coat and then a prime, and you know, one day they'll get painted. They were supposed to be painted for today, but you got pillars. Be happy, because I know Wellgate is still fresh in your mind, and I went looking for that well too. I don't know where those Mines of Moria pieces went, but anyway. What other paint schemes do you guys paint up your Uruk skin in the chat? That's an awesome question, Aaron. So I usually go for browns and mix in reds to create those highlights, because I love that really brown, kind of grimy Uruk look that we see on the latex costumes on the movies. I think that's really, really cool. So, hashtag Wellgate is resurfacing. Yeah, cool. Alright, well, I think we're basically ready to rock and roll. What we're going to do is we're going to swing over to the table, we're going to bust out the magazines, and we're going to start diving into some battle reports. It's really nice to get into battle reports so early. Usually we obviously do a bit more of a mix, but because this is like a bonus stream, a follow-up stream to the first one, it is all battle reports today. So, what I'm going to do is quickly swing the camera over there and turn on my other lighting. What I want you guys in the chat to do is to take a side. I'm going to be calling out shouts for people to be voting for what we're going to be doing. I've got a low latency setting on the stream today, so you guys are going to be able to talk to me really quickly in real time. So if people want to take control or barrack for the goblins or the cave troll or the goblin chieftain, or we've got of course all 9 members of the fellowship up for grabs. So everyone in the chat, get on it. Let me know what you're keen to control, who you're keen to barrack for, and I will swing on over to our battle report setup, and I will be back with you guys in just a second. Alright, boys and girls, here we are, Balin's Tomb, our finished diorama, and we have got the incredible Fellowship of the Ring painted up by Michael Buchan, which is of course our giveaway for this live stream, and they are secured defending Balin's Tomb. Gimli's standing up the top, he's losing his mind, and we have a horde of goblins just down here. Let's see if you guys can see that in the bottom of the frame. They are... just down there, we have 24 goblins with the kind of classic mix of war gear, including Groblogs, Gobjobs, the incredible campaign members by Mr. James Carver, one of our Patreons, and they're all named, and they're going to be doing some serious damage today. And then we have, whoops, how would you like some light? There we go. And they're going to be dealing with the man himself, Terry the Troll, the incredible Terry. And basically, this is part one of our little campaign today, and we're playing out the story. We're sort of bringing a theme from the movie and the book blended together, and I've altered this original scenario a little bit. We've got all of the campaign stats, all of the stats from our kind of classic rules, which we'll dive into in a sec. But the aim for the Fellowship is to essentially just like defeat the Horde. They need to scare off all the goblins so that they can cut their way to freedom. And the way that they do that is by killing every goblin on the board. Now the goblins will respawn. Any goblins that die will respawn on a 5+ until the cave troll has been killed, at which point all of the goblins will obey the normal rules for courage and will break and flee out the door as per normal. So essentially, the cave troll is the Moria player's biggest weapon, and your really good chance to kind of soften up some of these heroes. But if the cave troll goes down, then your gobbos will be a lot less brave, and they will start to flee, and you'll lose without number. Now let me swing on over into the chat. So it's gonna be absolutely insane, I think. So let's have a look at our profiles, because of course we're using the retro rules here for the classic 2001 probably at this point rules. So Frodo has 2 wounds, 3 might, 3 fate, and 3 will. He's a machine. Frodo is a machine. He's just so good. Sam has 2 wounds and 2 fate. And 1 might and 1 will, so he's pretty solid as well. Merry and Pippin are their classic trash profiles. 1 wound, 1 fate, nothing else. Aragorn is his usual self. He hasn't really changed much over the years. He's got defense 5, the 3 might, and the free. Boromir is, of course, the Boromir of Gondor profile, so he's got the big 6 might, but 3 wounds and no fate. So he is a little bit dangerous, and probably someone that the Moria players, you guys could consider targeting. Legolas is defense 4, so very, very soft, and only the 2 attacks. But he's still got 3 might, whereas Gimli is that defense 8 with 3 might. So he's the real tank. We can afford to be a bit more risky with Gimli. And then Gandalf the Grey Gandalf's a beast. Just the 1 attack, defense 5, but he's got, of course, got all of his magical powers, which we'll have to dig out because they are a little different. So we'll be using the classic magical powers. And that's going to be pretty key, I think. We've got a lot of heroes to track today, which is going to be interesting. So we'll get out a notepad for keeping track of their might, will, and fate. How different is this from the Mines of Moria and Journey book scenarios, asks Miniature Adventures. I can't actually remember. It's, I think we've modified this scenario to bring in the without number and the targeting the chieftain. Originally, the scenario was just kill the goblins and see how many heroes you lose, but I wanted to make this a bit more interesting and have a bit more stakes for the next scenario. So hopefully, a few of the Fellowship heroes will get killed, and then in between the games, we roll a dice for each Fellowship model that's killed, and on the roll of a 1, they're actually permanently killed, and we miss the they can't participate in the next scenario. So if Frodo dies and then properly dies, it's game over. We won't let that happen. Now the cave troll, he's just a normal cave troll, and the Moria goblin captain, we're actually going to level him up a little bit. We're going to give him defense 6. He's got his shield anyway, but he will have 3 might instead of 2 might. Just to make him a little bit more spicy. So that is our profiles. Aside from that, we've got lots and lots of amazing Fellowship hero action that's going to go down. Drums in the deep, so they're ignoring courage tests until their leader has been killed. And that is pretty much it, I think. I'm sure we've got a whole bunch of you guys in the chat excited to dive in. Liam says, does Legolas still have 3 shots? He does, he absolutely does, but he can't do the auto hit. And what I'm going to do And what I should have thought of earlier is grab out those rules for Mr. Gandalf, which were in magazine 15, I believe. Oh, that's Saruman. Where's Gandalf? Maybe we missed Gandalf. Oh, no, here we go. Oh, that's Gandalf the White. Gandalf the Grey might be in my other book, but that's fine. Because Gandalf has got some seriously retro spells, which are pretty different. So it's sort of important that we get to use the full gamut of spells. Now he's not going to be able to use Terrifying Aura at least until the cave troll has been slain because of the drums in the deep special rule. So Terrifying Aura is pretty much not going to be any use to us. Gandalf. Here we go. Gandalf the Grey. So many spells at his disposal. Sorcerer's Blast is going to be a huge one for blasting these guys away, and yeah, it's going to be interesting. There's Strike Down. We've got some really good options. So he's got the 6 will and 1 free per turn. So I think Sorcerer's Blast is probably going to be our go-to. But let's get some dice rolling, guys. Jill says, just had our first spicy. It's a proper stream now. So as always with the classic scenarios, good will have first priority. They have to start in base contact with the tomb itself. Now let me know how the audio is in terms of levels of music and my volume. Make sure you guys can hear me, because this is a slightly new audio setup for our battle report today. And let's get into it. I think I'll let you guys start firing away suggestions for both sides, but I think our aim is we need to keep the hobbits alive. They're obviously very soft, and Legolas probably needs to be able to get some shots off. So I think what we'll do is we'll leave Leggy stationary for now, and we might fire... I mean, we could seriously try and just get our 4 heroes up here and start to choke them. The music is a bit loud. I can do something about that. There we go. Let me know if that's enough. Yeah, keep the hobbits behind the tomb. We could sort of... Aragorn has a bow as well, of course. We remember that from that scene. So we'll leave Aragorn stationary. We'll leave Legolas stationary. Let's get Boromir just probably off to the side. I mean, they're going to be able to wrap and trap us, so we probably just need to use some of these defensive formations to kind of hold some zones. So let's stay pretty stationary for now, and then the Horde is just going to advance. So we've got Zorpa, our Orc Chieftain, flying forward. We've got Fark, one of our Goblin Swordsmen. Who's this guy? This is Zorp, the other Goblin Captain. And then Shiv. This guy's called Crackle. And Snap. I'm reading these out in the wrong order, James. We've got Stabber. He's one of our spearmen surging forward. An unnamed bowman from the second squad. And then Grot. And Grunter. More spearmen filling in the ranks. And then Crag. And Pop. Our final from the main squad. Now we'll send in the orcs first, I think. These guys are without number. We'll get them in there. See if they can soften up the cave troll a little bit. And then the cave troll will come on in and start marching towards the evil fellowship. That is a serious horde of goblins, guys. It's like 24. It is a ridiculous, ridiculous amount. We've got... oh, of course! Have Gimli throw an axe at Terry. Now, Gimli's axe will be out of range of Terry, but he will be able to throw it straight into Zorp. So let's get the shooting happening. We're going to start with Legolas. Legolas is the king. 3 shots. He misses with 2. What a good start, Legolas. And straight into... We'll target this bowman here, who's only defense 4. So needing 5s for him, and Legolas fails. Alright, let's see if Aragorn can do any better. On the Gandalf dice for Aragorn. He gets a 5, that's it, and he'll need another 5 to kill. Ooh, a big 6. Down goes a shield boy, and we'll take Fark. I'm getting rid of Fark. He's gone. Fark is out of here. Alright, that's it. Aragorn showing the way. We've got a big throwing axe coming in from Gimli. He misses. And I suppose Gandalf can do some shenanigans. Let's have a read of the old Sorcerer's Blast. Or we've got Strike Down. So that just knocks people over, I think. So that's probably no use to us. We're Sorcerer's Blast. So on a 5+, only a single model can be targeted, and there can't be any models in the way. Oh wow, Sorcerer's Blast is nowhere near as good. It's just a strength 8 hit. So alright, well we'll just cast that on a 5+ with his free one. Gandalf needing a 5 to cast, and he gets a 1, so no cast there. Alright, let's jump into priority for turn number 2. And the goblins have got it, which is interesting, because Aragorn's in charge range. So we've already lost Aragorn's shooting. Zorp makes the charge. Shiv is... The 5 inches hurts them, and it looks like Aragorn's now fighting one guy, but these guys are basically just going to fly on in. I think what we'll do is we'll send our bowman. That bowman's going to half move. That bowman's going to half move. That bowman's going to half move. So we've got a little fire base here now to shoot into combat. Zorpa, our big chieftain, is going to run straight for Gandalf. These bowmen are going to half move. We can throw some spears. We can throw a spear on Zorpa. We've got Grot making a sprint. We need more spearmen, so we'll send that spearman over to the center. We'll do a full move with that bowman to get him around, and then we just need to send in the horde. They're going to move up. Full pelt, charging, full pelt, and in comes Terry the Troll, lumbering towards. Thud, thud, thud. We've got Aragorn here. Alright, so a question for the chat, guys. Which kind of flank do we want to attack on the troll with? We've got Boromir here, who we want to avoid, probably. Aragorn's in the center, and Gandalf's over there. Again, not particularly fun to deal with a troll. We want to try and get the troll into some of these hobbits or into Legolas, and try and force some serious damage. So we'll leave him central for now, and I'm going to let you guys decide what attack vector you want for the troll, and the rest of the horde is going to come flying on. And then Fark, on a 5+, will rejoin the battle. He does! Fark is back! This is Fark's brother, Farky. And he comes sprinting onto the board as well. So there we go, we've killed the goblin. Now, can someone in the chat... we need to keep track of how many goblins the Fellowship kill over the whole game. Here's a notepad. We're gonna make sure I stay on top of this, because I really want to know how many we murder. I'll grab a pen. I'll grab a pen. If only it was so easy. Pen acquired. Alright, goblin kill tally. We're up to 1. Alright, let's just... So, Fellowship's move. We've got... Try not to make me laugh, guys. Kieran in the chat says, Barlin's gonna stay still this turn. Oh, rip Barlin. Oh, that's good. That's good. Alright, so, Russell reckons we should go right. Liam reckons we should target Aragorn with Terry. Now, for those of you who've been following the campaign for some time, you will know that Aragorn has had some mixed fortunes. These exact goblins, James Carver's Groblogs Gobjobs, have murdered Aragorn 3 times in different scenarios. Terry the Troll, I believe, has killed him once, or contributed to one of those deaths. So, Aragorn knows these goblins. He's worried. He's fighting 2 goblins and he's sweating. They're his Achilles heel. But he did have a really good game recently where he like soloed a whole bunch of Uruk-hai to save Frodo. So there was to save Bilbo. That's right. That was for our special Bilbo live stream. So there is a little bit of dudes. A little bit of luck. Armandil Aramanth asks, who is Fark? So Fark is one of the just normal regular chaff gobbos, and all of these gobbos are named because they are some of our goblins that are sponsored by one of our patrons. These are James Carver's goblins, so when you win your kind of squad or your hero or whatever, you get to name them and kind of make up a backstory for them and get really invested in them. So we get to track their progress, and that's why they all have names. So, Fellowship, we need to set up an awesome heroic combat here, I reckon. Let's go nuts. Let's throw Gandalf. Gandalf's gonna charge Zorpa, the big scary chieftain, and I'm gonna try and knock him down, I reckon. We'll go for strike down, which is cast on a 4+. So I'll use 1 point of will and my free one, looking for a 4. Gandalf gets a 6. So he'll be knocked down, unless he can resist. Now, he is a Moria chieftain, so he has 2 points of will. I think we'll try and resist both of those. The resist fails, so no will gone, and Zorpa is now knocked over. And I think we're gonna... Should we be risky with these hobbits? Yes, I think we will. We're going to throw Merry. And, no, this is... if we had Sam, we could have got him over there and used his point of might, but to give Gandalf like a free heroic combat. But Merry and Pippin don't have any might. Yeah, we probably just need to sort of keep them together for the time being. So let's go... Let's get Boromir in on this guy here. And we'll just start sort of taking the one-on-ones. No, we'll send Gimli down. What am I doing? Gimli can go down. And Boromir's going to make a charge in here. I'm confident that Aragorn and Gimli will be able to cut their way to him if he gets a bit overwhelmed. Boromir's an absolute legend. And we'll leave Legolas to shoot. Oh, the hobbits, of course, can throw stones. Okay, so all the hobbits are scooping for a stone. That's bloody happening. That is absolutely happening. Rip Merry. No, I'm not. Terry needs to paste a hobbit, says Liam. Okay, so shooting phase. Let's see if Legolas can do any better. He's obviously going to shoot straight into Terry. He'll have an in the way through some goblins. He misses once, hits twice. Let's see if he gets past the goblins or hits Terry. One hits the goblin, one hits Terry. Let's go on the goblin first. Ooh, the goblin is nailed by the Prince of Mirkwood. That goblin gets placed at the board edge. And strength 3, defense 6, needing a 6 to wound Terry with the elf bow. And Terry is fine. Terry, however, does have his troll chain, so he is going to whip back. And I think we'll whip into Boromir. So he hits on a 5+. He misses, only rolling a 4. So no real kind of dramatic shooting for the turn. And that is 2 goblins dead. We've got to keep tracking that. So it's combat time. I think we'll call a free heroic combat with Aragorn using his point of might. And I don't think we'll bother spending a point of might with Gandalf. We'll save that. We're going to need that might a bit later on. So let's do Aragorn's first. Aragorn's got 3 attacks. And the 2 goblins have got 2. Aragorn is getting 5s. The goblins have got 5s, so Aragorn wins it on fight value. So pushing them back. He just needs to kill the 1 with... he does have Anduril, so he'll be wounding on 4s. Oh, actually... no, he won't, because I don't think that special rule exists. Let me just check. Gimli, Aragorn... So he only has a sword. The Anduril special weapon didn't even exist. So he's strength 4, defense 5. So winning on 5s for these goblins. Oh, he's fluffed it. He's got 2 4s and a 1. 2 4s and 1. The heroic combat doesn't go off, and we won't bother spending any of his store might. Yeah, ooh, brutal. Brutal. Okay, so let's see if Gandalf can do any better. He just has the 1 attack, which is interesting. But he is fighting the captain, who is knocked down. So 1 attack versus 2. Gandalf gets a 4. The Goblin Captain gets a 5. I think we'll just leave it there. So Gandalf backs away and the Goblin Captain stands up. I can't... Yeah, it's Gandalf only having the 1 attack. It's pretty brutal. Alright, let's go to priority for the next turn. This is looking tough for the Fellowship, hey? Priority goes to the good side. Okay, that's good. Oh, we've also skipped Boromir's combat, so let's quickly do that. What am I doing? Boromir fighting 1. Boromir wins, they both get 5s, and Boromir slices and dices and getting 3 5s. And that is Grunter getting absolutely ripped apart by the Son of Gondor. That's it, Boromir. That's what we need to do. And Gimli, God, there's so many combats, I'm completely losing my mind here. We're not finished. Gimli fighting 1 goblin. Gimli gets a 2, a 2, and a 3. So the Son of Durin's all over it. I think he actually only has 2 attacks. So we better re-roll those. He gets a 2 and a 4. He would have won anyway on either case, because the Goblin only managed a 3. And Gimli needs 5s, I think. Oh, he gets a 6. Down goes Shiv on another one. That is 4 goblins dead. Now, that's better, that's better. Okay, let's get into priority. And it goes to... Oh, the Fellowship won it, didn't they? We already rolled. So, we've got... There's a lot of goblins here, and we need to kind of deal with this... this cave troll. I think we need to try and use Balin's Tomb a little bit as a defensive measure. So I think what we'll do is we'll throw Aragorn... Aragorn's going to charge the Chieftain. Try and make light work of him. Gimli is going to charge this guy here, protecting Aragorn from a counter charge. Boromir is also going to charge him. Legolas is going to stay still because he's not within charge range. Yeah, he's just short of that goblin, so he's going to get to shoot. And all the hobbits will get to shoot. Will stay still as well. In fact, I think what they might do is just back up a little bit further. And stick together. Alright, Cave Troll makes a right flanking maneuver. Okay. Let's see what's... Yeah, he forgot it at Rivendell. McGregor says, there's the Aragorn I remember. He left it on Bill the Pony, says Liam. Matty Dishner says, don't forget the Horn of Gondor. So, interesting little scenario rule here. Boromir's horn is completely useless. Because of the drums in the deep special rule, the goblins don't have to take courage tests for any reason until the troll is killed. So right now, the Horn of Gondor won't actually do anything, which is a little tricky moment for Boromir. So let's countercharge with these goblins. You guys want the troll to flank right. We'll leave our bowmen where they are and actually remember to use them. We actually can't get anyone in to help out the captain, so we'll just have to throw a support on. But what we can do is just try and gang up on Gimli and just start stacking these models. So let's make Boromir pay for being so bold and thinking he can just hang out there. Oh, you know, we could actually make a charge on the troll with Boromir. I think you guys really wanted me to flank, so I'll send a goblin straight at Legolas to screen the troll to give it in the way, and then he's gonna go straight for Legolas next turn. Leggy's the soft target. You guys are spot on, I think. So let's start sprinting some goblins up around the sides as well. So 1 inch, 4 inch. We're gonna try and get around this flank here. 5 inches. Man, this is gonna be really tough. We're gonna lose some hobbits, man. Let's send them in. Get those guys like sort of going up around the sides, and we'll go like that. Okay, so it's we've got 3 goblins who are currently injured on a 5+. Some of them will come back. We've got 1. It's Grunter. He's coming back and sprinting up the middle. Ooh, make sure Terry deals with baking early, Boromir early. I'm not sure. Oh, with Balin. Make sure Terry deals with Balin. Yeah, of course. We need to. Terry needs to make a big smash and desecrate Balin's grave. So let's go for shooting here. Good has priority. Legolas is obviously going to take some shots straight at Terry to try and relive that movie moment, but he's in a little bit of danger here. So 3 shots into Terry. They all hit. We've got in the ways though. Do they get past the goblin? Only 1 of them gets past the goblin. So let's go the 2 shots. Oh, actually 1 shot into the goblin. The first shot kills him. So then they will both go into Terry. Nice work, Legolas. 5 goblins dead now. So 2 shots straight into Terry, needing 6s. And that is not the way it's done, Legolas. A 2 and a 3. It's a sad attempt there, Leggy. Let's jump into combat then. No, we've got evil shooting, of course. So I've got 4 bowmen who haven't moved. And they're just all going to shoot into... I think we'll have to probably shoot into Boromir's combat, because otherwise we're going to go through so many friendly models. So let's go all 4 shots, haven't moved, needing 5s. Wow, goblins just got 3 hits on 4 dice. In the ways, do they hit the friendly models or Boromir? 2 of them hit their own goblins. Let's go on Boromir first. No wounds on Boromir. Do they accidentally shoot their own gobbos in the back? Of course they do. 2 goblins die. Oh, actually only 1 because they've got shields. So they're only strength 2 bows. So they kill their own goblin. Fantastic job. That counts as a fellowship kill. 6 goblins dead. Alright, let's jump into combat. So I think we're going to call a free heroic combat with Aragorn's Point of Might. I mean, he's probably never going to kill the chieftain this turn. Maybe we should save the might for spending it. I'll let you guys decide that. Heroic combat for Aragorn, or do we save the might for the burn, and then we'll come back to him regardless. We've got Boromir fighting 3, or we could split 3 up onto Gimli. I think we'll leave 3 on Boromir, and rely on his 3 attacks to get us through there, and then Gimli's got the 2. Oh, we totally forgot to move Gandalf, who was actually meant to move and engage that spearman. Oh no, that wouldn't have worked. What am I talking about? Because Fellowship had Thingo first. So in the shooting phase, Gandalf needs to just throw off a Sorcerous Blast. I think in this edition, can you cast magical powers in the shooting phase if they've got shooting attacks, or does it have to be when they move? Let's have a quick look. Magic and willing to use magic. I know it's just in the move phase, so even though it is a shooting attack, we have missed our window. Save the might, the guys reckon. Save the might for wounding. Oh, Battle Games in Middle Earth has joined us. Hello, Harry. How you doing, man? So we'll save the might for wounding. So Aragorn's going to go in. He's got the 3 attacks, and he is fighting the Goblin Chieftain, who also has 2 attacks, but he's got a 3rd attack from a spear support. So 3 dice each will separate the non-might dice with white. Alright, Aragorn has not done well. He's got 4 high on 3 dice, but I'll tell you who's done worse, and that's the bloody Goblin Chieftain. So he's only gotten 3 high. Now he's got 2 points of might. If he spends 1 might, Aragorn is going to use his free to just keep on going, and he's got the fight value anyway, so the Goblin can't really use any might here. So Aragorn is going to be able to sink all 3 strikes into the Goblin Captain. He's strength 4, the Goblin Captain's defense 6, so that's 5s to wound. So Aragorn's got 3 4s, so we'll spend the free one to put a wound on the Captain. And I think that's all we can afford to do, because we're going to need might to save these hobbits. I tell you what, we'll spend 1 might from Aragorn's store, which is going to make the force the Goblin to take a fate save. 1 fate on 4 up. The Goblin rolls a big 1, and with not enough might to change that result, Zorpa, the Goblin Captain, has fallen. And I might add, does not come back. It's only the Goblin Warriors. So, a good move. It cost Aragorn 1 of his might, but the Goblin Captain is finished. Alright, let's look into, yeah, we can absolutely get a bit of a zoom. Sorry, guys. Let me zoom on in for you. There we go. You will have to, I'll do it like this. We'll do a little zoomy zoom to there. Alright. We'll zoom in there, and then if I put my dice tray just in here, you should be able to see the results. There we go. That will work. Alright, so let's go, okay, so with the Goblin Captain's gone, we've got Gimli up next. Gimli's fighting 2. Now, Gimli, I believe, has the option to fight 1 or 2-handed. Let's see if he has, well, he might just have the flat 2 attacks this early on. Gimli, so he's got a 2-handed axe and a throwing axe and a normal axe. So he can elect to fight 2-handed or fight normally. Well, Gimli's pissed off, so we're obviously going to fight 2-handed. So Gimli is fighting against 2 goblins. The goblins get a 6, and Gimli loses the fight. That's okay, he's defense 8. The goblins are strength 3, so they need, what, 6s by 5s, I think? Wow. So I don't know if you guys can see that. Goblins just got double 6s, which means that I now actually have to look up the wound table. Strength 3 on D8 is absolutely 6s by at least 4s. Yeah, let's keep our old school vein, and I can quickly grab this wound chart. So strength 3, defense 8 is 6s by 4s. 6s by 4s. So 2 4s, and there are 2 wounds. Oh my god, another 2 6s. What the hell? Oh wow. Okay, so now for those of you who haven't tuned in before, when characters, particularly warriors, roll 4 6s in a row, they get leveled up with the Glorfindel ability. Now these guys fought as a pair, but I think they're goblins. I think we got to give them something. So these 2 unnamed nobody goblins have just found themselves leveled up to have Lord of the West. So wow, these 2 goblins are clearly pretty special. Gimli has just taken 2 wounds and will now have to spend 2 fate to stay in the fight. He rolls a 4 and a 3, and he'll spend 1 of his might points to save it. So he's on no fate, and he's down to 2 might. That is a huge, huge result for 2 goblin warriors. My goodness. My goodness. Okay, so we got to remember, these two guys are leveled up. They need names. Guys, I want names for these goblins. We have a goblin bowman and a goblin spearman who just absolutely wrecked Gimli. Let's move on to Boromir. Boromir is fighting 3, and they are going for blood. They have been inspired. Boromir gets a 4 high, and the goblins are pathetic. They manage a 3 high. That's just bad rolling by everyone, but it's enough for Boromir to say, I'm going to put you guys to death. And he rolls 2 6s and a 4, which kills the 2 shieldmen. And you know what? We'll drop a point of Boromir's might. And we'll kill a 3rd. Let's really clear out the horde in this central area so we can get some board control. That's going to help Boromir try and save Thingo next turn. So, Boromir has spent 1 point of might. And Gimli has spent a point of might. And Aragorn, I believe, I spent a point of might. I did, yeah. So that's all the might spent, and then Gandalf has spent 1 of his raw will. So he's down to 5. I'm actually tracking now, and I think tracking the amount of goblins we've killed is a pointless exercise. This is going too fast. Oof. Bill and Ben, the 6 rolling men. I do like that. Smeek the bowman. Gimli's bane. Legless. Longtooth. There are some great... Yeah, let's... yeah, Zorpa and Fark just got avenged, says Liam. What do we got? Do they keep the buff if they're killed? Absolutely they keep the buff. They absolutely keep the buff. Let's have a look. We've got Ratbag. That's a great suggestion from Scotty Gaming. Name the Goblin Bowman Gremlo, Longtooth, Lego Blast. That's a good one, Tommy. One of the goblins is Dave, from all accounts, says Russell. Armalass, Korlak the Spear Gobbo. There is a lot of good suggestions here. We will pick a name by the time they have their next combat. Okay, so let's jump into priority, guys. And this is an important one because the goblins have an opening here. Oh, and it goes to evil as well. Now, is it worth calling a heroic move? Probably not. Because we're all, you know, they don't have a huge amount of models. So, Troll's going in. He's whipping Legolas, throwing a chain on the way in. He misses. And Legolas is the Troll is gonna get in and wrap around. Now we'll throw goblins left, right, and center into Legolas here. This brave soul is just going to charge Boromir. And these guys are just going to try and pin the fellowship in place, I think. These two are obviously going to charge Boromir again. That's happening. We'll throw one guy on Aragorn so that we can get around and charge Gandalf. That guy doesn't actually have line of sight to Gandalf, so even though he's in range, he won't be able to charge. So he's going to make a beeline straight for the hobbits. He's behind enemy lines now. So are these guys. And we'll throw a support on Aragorn's model. And those guys will just run around the sides as well. Alright, we have a whole lot of dead goblins to test for. So that is 7. Let's see how many are coming back. There is just 2 coming back, so slightly above average. And they will just come sprinting on. It is Shiv and Stabber. So there's not going to be any other... We've got good movement. We've got options here. So my four hobbits have got to do some stuff here. And Frodo and Sam are actually like tanks. So, oh man, look how close to the... Look at the troll, man. He's right there. So I think what we'll do is we'll send the hobbits up this flank. They're going to have to do some fighting, but it's better than dealing with the troll. So first up, we'll send Frodo, Merry. Ooh, can I get through? Yep. Pippin. He'll have to stop there. So so they'll actually all get on them, and that will allow them to do a heroic combat in the combat phase. So the hobbits, Sam's grabbed his frying pan. It's about to go down. Right, let's pick a name for these incredible guys. Oh no, we've got shooting first. 1, 2, 3, 4 goblin bowmen coming in hot. They are going to shoot... I think we'll shoot at Boromir on the off chance that we kill Grunter and stop his inevitable heroic combat. So needing 5s, we hit once. Now we want to actually hit our own goblin here. We don't. We hit Boromir, but we don't wound him. If those dice rolls had been in reverse, we would have killed him. Alright, let's fire on in. So we've got... thanks for watching, Nerd Shack. We'll see you next time. That cave troll is just strolling around. Those hobbits are in for a fight. Merry and Pippin charge the troll. Yeah, they could. Except we need to wait until Frodo dies before they get that brave. Legolas is cooked. Hey, he's fight 6. He's fight 6. Don't back him out just yet. Stabby the goblin. Terry is gonna clean house, says Leo. Wyatt the way to die, says Jamie. Okay, I really like Armalass for the bowman. That's good. One of the goblins is Dave. All right. Bill and Ben is pretty good. Bill and Ben, the 6 rolling men. Gimli's Bane. Philip. Legolas. I think we'll go with Legolas. I like the Legolas jokes. Armalass was good, but I think Legolas is too good to pass up. We'll go Legolas and... Oh, so many good options, dudes. Let's go Ratbag. Legolas and Ratbag are our 2 new goblin heroes. Legolas is the one in combat, and Ratbag is just poking from behind. That's a very Ratbaggy sort of thing to do. So we'll start off with some serious heroic combats. Boromir is going to call one, spending a point of might. Aragon is going to call one, spending his free. Gandalf... I'm not particularly worried. Yeah, we might call one with Gandalf, because Gandalf will be able to get into the troll. Yeah, so Gandalf will call one as well. So Gandalf goes down to 2 might. So let's start with Boromir's. So Boromir's got 3 attacks. And the little poor little goblin just has the 1. Oh my god, the goblin 1. Are you serious? Boromir rolls 2 2s and a 3, and the goblin rolls a 4. Well, obviously I'm going to have to spend another point of might to force the win. So Boromir goes down to 3 might. And he is going to... Whoops. He's going to kill this guy. That's what's going to happen. He's rolled 4s and 5s. The 4 is enough. Down goes the goblin, and Boromir will be able to pull off the 2... swordsman, or the 2 bowmen rather, and Gandalf. Let's do Gandalf's heroic combat next. He's got that's a terrible decision. Gandalf's only got 1 attack. Oh no, we'll do the Hobbit heroic combat first. Yeah. So who called it? It was Sam who called it. So he goes down to... He's got no might left. So it's 4... Frodo's got 2 attacks. And then the other 3 hobbits have 1 attack each. All with no might left. And they're just fighting 1 poor trapped goblin. And they... Who rolls a 1. And they absolutely rinse him. Now they're all like strength 2 and strength 3. So they're going to need 5s. And they have... Okay, they've rolled 2 1s, 2 2s, and a 3. But the goblin is trapped, so we'll get to roll again. And there we go, that's better. 2 5s and a 6. That guy gets absolutely minced. And now what we'll do is we'll throw Frodo in combat with Gandalf to help Gandalf's heroic combat go off. So Frodo will go in. And the other 2 hobbits, Sam and Merry, are just going to run that way. In fact, I'm not even going to risk Pippin fighting 1 dude. We'll just get those guys to move that way. Oh, snacks are being delivered. Hello, thank you very much. Bye. The breakfast delivery has been made. Okay. We've got the 3 hobbits making their flanking move. We've now set up Gandalf's heroic combat slingshot. So let's have 2 attacks with Frodo, 1 attack with Gandalf. That just blows my mind. Oh no, I've lied. Frodo only has 1 attack as well. Well, that doesn't matter. So it's 1 attack each. It's still worth it. It's still worth it. And they're fighting against 1 goblin. They win on 3s, and now they need 4s and 5s. So 4s on the green, 5s on the white. Yes, nice work. Gandalf absolutely rinses him, and Gandalf is off. Now, does Gandalf want to target the troll? I think so. He's going in. So we now have Legolas and Gandalf fighting together on Terry, and then the 2 goblins fighting Boromir. That's a bit better. Let's do Aragorn's free heroic combat. He's fighting 2 goblins. He hasn't done well so far. Well, he did kill the goblin captain, actually. Shouldn't take that away from him. Look at that. 2 6s and a 5. Aragorn nearly leveled up then. Aragorn has to get 3 6s at once to get any level ups because he's already so good. He clearly wins though, and gets another 2 6s. Far out, Aragorn. And rinses that little goblin. And now what he is going to do is, I think he'll just run into this goblin here. Those 2 goblins. Alright, let's do our normal combats. We'll start with Gimli. Gimli fight. He's going to 2-hand again. Actually, he's absolutely... Nah, he's going to 2-hand. Sod it. So, this is Gimli fighting Ratbag and Legolas. And they don't have it this time. Gimli's 1 on the 4. And he is strength 4, their defense 4, and he's 2-handing. Oh, no. Oh, yeah, he's got high fight value. So +1, so wounding on 3s. And down goes Legolas. Oh, but hang on a minute. We're forgetting that... So, Gimli... I'm so sorry. Gimli rolled 4 high, which goes down to a 3. And the goblins rolled 3 high. But these guys have their upgrade. They've got the Lord of the West upgrade, so they can both re-roll their dice. And get a 6! Alright, so that's also another 6. That's their first of the next 4 6s for leveling up. So that is victory to the goblins, I should say. Now they are strength 3 and he's defense 8. So as we worked out last time, they need 6s by 4s. They get 2 5s, so close. But of course they've got Lord of the West, so they got their wounding reroll. No 6s, but they managed to push Gimli back and not go down. So fantastic works, goblins. Fantastic works. Alright, Aragorn fighting 1. They both get 6s, but obviously Gorny takes it on the fight value and kills him as well. Defense 4 with the spearman. So Aragorn's starting to dish the pain now and really clean out that flank. The goblins need a new horde. They need some more points here. Let's do Boromir. Boromir fighting 2. The goblins have got a 6, but Boromir gets a 6. Finally learns to roll well when it counts, and he will need 4s and 5s. So we'll do the 4 first. Down goes him, and the 5s fails to wound the shieldsman, but the bowman has been eviscerated. Alright, we have one big combat left, and that is Terry the Troll, 3 attacks. Legolas, 2 attacks. Gandalf, 1 attack. They are all the same fight value. Oh, Terry! Terry, what have you done? He's rolled 3-1-1, and the 2 big heroes have managed the 6s. So Terry the Troll is pushed away. He's defense 6, so they would both need 5s to wound him. And they get no wounds. So he's fine, but no ability to squash him yet. Oh, they did roll a 4 actually. So Legolas should probably spend one of his points of might, to put a wound on him, because that is sort of their objective, isn't it? So Terry goes down to 2 wounds, and the Moria forces, things have really turned around then. Man, it's yeah, there's not a lot of goblins on the field. So let's start getting some goblins. Let's start there. What have we got? 3, 6, 9, 11 goblins. That looks like roughly 11. Oh wow. Wow. 3, 6, 9. 9 goblins. I just rolled 9 out of 11 5+s. On they come. Okay, so we know those guys are coming on. We'll make some charges now. So we need to stop these heroic combats. This is the problem here. We can tie up Boromir with 1 goblin there. We can tie up Gandalf with 1 goblin there. Terry the Troll is gonna throw a chain as he charges. He misses. God damn it, Terry. What are you doing? These 2 have obviously got to charge Gimli again. Legolas. Now, Stark and Shiv. They're going to get in on Aragorn. We're going to go both of them base to base to make his heroic combat more difficult. And now, the Hobbits have actually found themselves getting charged. They're going to have to do some fighting. And of course, eventually, Pippin will countercharge there. Alright, let's get these 9 guys in. 5 inches is there. A new wave. In case Terry goes down, What a great turn to get such an insane result from the dice, to really bulk those goblin numbers back up. Okay, that's big. So, the Fellowship are losing priority. Might be time to start calling some heroic moves from here on out, but they're in a fine position for the time being. Terry, run for the Balrog, save yourself from Pippin. Aaron says, I love how you can eyeball most of the distances for charging, Lockie. Yeah, when you've played using games that rely on 6-inch and 5-inch movement as much as I have, nearly 16 or 17 years, longer than that. When did I start playing? 2001. Yeah, holy wow. I've been nearly playing these wargames for like 20 years now. It's pretty crazy. I started very young. Okay. There's not much. There's nothing. There's nothing that the good player can do. So let's shoot into combat. We need to stop the heroic combats. That's the plan here. Boromir is the big one. We're all dice. Boom, boom, boom into Boromir. We need the goblin archers to kill this guy. Pop. 3 shots. Needing 5s. No hits. Bad. Bad archers. You're all fired. Okay, let's move into combat then. Gandalf has not been able to use much magic at all. It's crazy. We'll call some heroics. Aragorn's just going to go for it. He'll call one with his free. Gimli is not, because he's in so much trouble. He's already down might as well. Gandalf probably won't, fighting one dude, so it's going to be all down to Boromir to get in and help Legolas, I think. So Boromir will call a point of might. He's down to 2 now, so he is running out. And I think Frodo might spend a point of might as well. So Frodo... Oh, he's only got the 1 attack. No, that's probably quite unlikely. We'll leave that. Alright, let's start with Aragorn's. Aragorn fighting 3. Aragorn gets the 6. And gets 2 4s, which is not enough. So Stabber will kill 1, and then he can might one of those to a 5... to kill Shiv to get them both. So Aragorn's now down to 1 natural might, which will allow him to... I think we need to stop this horde. So I think Aragorn is actually going to boldly charge forth and try and tie up the reinforcements. He's super durable. I'm not worried about him. He's super durable. So Aragorn's in there, gonna tie all those guys up. Let's do Gimli. Gimli fighting Armalas and Megablas and Ratbag. I was trying to remember the last names. Right, there we go. Gimli has choked. Gimli's got a 1 and a 2, which goes down to a 1. And they don't even need to Lord of the West to win because they've got a 2, but we will anyway, just to get higher for might. There you go. They just leveled up for another 6. So they are now on their 2nd of 4 6s. They beat Gimli back again. They need 6s to wound, 6s by 4s. Mega Blast and Ratbag. Oh, they got a 6. Lord of the West on the first dice. Okay, so 1 6, needing a 4. Oh my god, another 6. You're kidding. Gimli takes a wound. He's got no fate left. Gimli has 1 wound, no fate, and these 2 goblins, Mega Blast and Ratbag, are ruining him. He's just losing his mind with grief and unable to fight effectively in combat. Alright, let's do Frodo while we're over on that side of the board. Frodo fighting 1 goblin. Frodo wins on a 6, but only just. But Frodo doesn't kill him because he's only strength 3. We've got Merry and Sam fighting together up the back. No, Pippin and Sam, sorry, against 1 goblin. Oh, the goblin gets him on a 6. He's going to go for Pippin. He wounds him on a 6. Pippin's got a 4-up fate here. Oh, he saves it. He saves it. Okay, Pippin has no fate. That was close. And now Merry is fighting 1 goblin. They're the same fight value? No, I think goblins are fight 2, aren't they? The goblin captains fight 4. Yeah, Moria goblins are fight 2. Captains fight 3. So that goes to Merry on fight 3. Who kills a goblin? On you, Merry. He's like, this is how you do it, Pippin, you idiot. Nice work, Merry. The real MVP. Alright, Gandalf fighting 1 up the back here. He gets a 5. Doesn't kill him though. Oh, we forgot about Boromir's heroic combat. Whoops, we'll do that now. 3 attacks and Pop. Man, if you could win a fight, Pop, this would be the one to win. Because if you can win a fight, we could have a dead Legolas on our hands. Oh, so close. Pop got the 6, but so did Boromir. Boromir's clutching these 6s when he needs them. And he only needs 4s. He gets 2 6s to wound and kills another goblin, allowing him to fly on over into Terry the Troll. Okay, one big combat left, guys. Terry fighting Boromir and Legolas. This is a much harder task for him. Let's set the tone with the Fellowship heroes. Alright, they get the 6, not surprising. They got 5 dice. Terry needs to get a 6 to tie. Come on, Terry. Come on, Terry. Oh, he doesn't. He gets 5s. Alright, he's not trapped, so they're just wounding straight up, needing 5s to wound. They get no wounds. Legolas doesn't have enough might to do anything about it. And Boromir could force a wound, and that's what he'll do. So Boromir will spend 1 point of might, taking him down to 1 to score Terry's 2nd wound. So Terry only has a wound left, but he has sucked up some of Boromir's might. This is tricksy. This is really tricksy. Alright. Boromir should strike, says Irish Marine. Unfortunately, there's no such thing as heroic strike in 2001, and we're retro playing these games, so no fancy heroics, no fancy brutal power attacks from the troll. It's all very vanilla. Let's dive into priority, guys. Good have not won priority for some time, and they swing it with a big 6. Okay, that is huge. Huge, huge, huge. So they can basically set up Terry's death here. Boromir's going to get in. I think we'll actually leave Legolas to shoot. We'll just throw in Boromir and Gandalf. Gandalf's going to cast some magic because he's barely done anything. Let's try and knock Terry over. Let's go. Immobilize is a 3+. So the only thing that can get us prone attacks, I think, is strike down, which is like the old Nature's Wrath. Yeah, so it's on a 4+. Let's do it. That Terry will be well and truly cooked then. Yep, it's cast, so Terry is knocked down. Gandalf has 3 will remaining now. Gandalf goes in for the kill. And Gimli is going to viciously charge these guys again. Legolas is actually going to stay still so he can do some shooting. Try and get a bit of punch on those guys. The Hobbits are going to make their charges. We'll set them up in pairs here. We'll put Merry and Frodo fighting together. Aragorn. Oh, we forgot about Aragorn's final combat there for the last turn. Off his heroic combat, I mean. So Aragorn fighting 2. He is finding Grot and an unnamed. He gets double 6s. The goblins get double 1s. And he needs 4s and 5s. Looking for the 4, 4, 4. He gets 3 3s. No one dies. Good work, goblins. Alright, so now back to this present turn. Aragorn says, come at me. He's going to charge. Well, the goblins aren't going to miss an opportunity like this, I think. Let's see if we can make Aragorn pay for that. Because the odds are that Terry's going to die this turn. Most likely. We'll run these guys in. Let's see, what do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 dead goblins on the side there, needing 5s to come in. They get 3, still above average. That's fantastic. Well, in that case, what we'll do is we will sprint these guys out here and use these gentlemen to charge Aragorn. I think these archers have done nothing and probably should have been getting involved earlier. So, I think they're just going to sprint in as well. Because they just haven't managed to actually do anything with shooting, and their numbers probably would have been more useful. Oh, I do have one goblin up the back here. So he's got the option now of charging... Oh, hello. Oh, no. Oh, I did not do this intentionally, but Boromir is being pulled off by this little goblin and is no longer fighting Terry. we can probably keep Terry alive one more turn. Which would be good, because we're probably going to have some goblins seriously die, and that will allow us to buy a little bit more time, get some more reinforcements. Okay, so shooting. Terry is knocked down, so he's not going to be able to hurt Gandalf, but he might be able to win the fight. Legolas has got to open up first. He's just going to shoot straight into the horde that is sprinting towards him. He hits twice with 2 6s, and he will need 4s, 5s to wound. He gets no wounds. His shooting has just been trash. Help Gimli with Legolas. Oh, yeah, well, it probably wouldn't be a good idea, actually, shooting at that support, but I forgot. Let's go into combat. Aragorn is not going to call a heroic combat. He's going to save his free might for forcing the win. I don't think there's actually... I guess Boromir could call a heroic combat with his final point of might to finish off Terry, so that might be... Boromir's got 1 left. Let's go that way. That's the smart thing to do, I think. Oh, what if we... How much might have we got? Look, Terry can't hurt Gandalf this turn. If he manages to survive, let him survive. It's fine. He can't actually hurt Gandalf, so we'll save Boromir's might. Let's go for... Let's do Gimli first up. Gimli fighting Ratbag and Mega Blasts. Oh, Gimli has rolled 6, and so has the have the other guys. That is their 3rd 6. I'm just going to re-roll here. No, okay, so they are 1 6 away from leveling up again. But Gimli finally wins. Oh, actually, no, he doesn't because he's 2-handing. So he's down to 5s. Now, he can might that back up, of course. I think he's going to have to might this. Gimli has 2 might left. So he's going to spend a might just to finally win a fight against these guys. And well, 2-handing is going to be wounding on 3, so I think Mega Blast is finally going down. And yeah, a 4 and a 3, Gimli manages to finally get some vengeance. And if those two can get back together again, it will be useful. So Gimli wins a fight. Good work, Gimli. Nice to see you doing something for the first time all game. Let's go Gandalf against Terry the Troll. Terry is prone, so he won't be able to strike. But he does win the fight, pushes Gandalf back, and stands back up. So Terry is back on his feet. Boromir fighting a single goblin over here in the corner. He rolls only 3 high, but it's enough. The goblin only gets 2, and then Boromir finishes him off. Alright, our next one. Let's go, what have we got next? We've got Frodo fighting Frodo and Merry up the back corner here, fighting 1 goblin. Oh, the goblin gets it, and Frodo, I guess he could might it. I think they'll be okay. 1 goblin. Wounding on Merry. That might have been the worst decision ever. Merry takes a wound. Merry has 1 fate point. And he passes. Okay, Merry and Pippin have no fate, but they're both alive. Sam and Merry fighting 1 goblin each. 1 goblin together, sorry. They get the 6. Goblin gets a 2. And they rinse him. Sam is doing it. The frying pan is swinging hard. So the hobbits have held their own. They've taken a bit of damage, but they're not dead, which is important. Right, let's do the big one, guys. Aragorn. 3 dice for Aragorn. And he's got his might points. So all he needs is a 5 to win the fight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 dice from the goblins. Let's see what the goblins get. They're on 6 high without even needing the second half of the dice. If Aragorn gets a 5, or honestly even a 4, he's okay. In true Aragorn style, he rolls the 4, so he has to spend his free point and his last natural to win the fight and force them back. He will need 4s and 5s. He kills 1 goblin. But they have sapped Aragorn dry of resources, and he is, you know, out on the fringes there. So, not too bad, not too bad. Okay, let's jump into priority. We're getting close to the end of this one, I think. I think the Fellowship are going to manage to do it pretty unscathed. They have 1 priority again. We'll charge in with Gandalf, and we'll do the knockdown spell again. Gandalf has 3 natural will left, so we'll just burn 2 in the free. He gets the spell off, so Terry's knocked down. Boromir's going to go in for the charge. Legolas is probably just going to have to charge. Gimli's going to charge. The hobbits are going to stay over here. but they're going to gang up on this one poor goblin, and Aragorn is going to... There's too many control zones, so he's just going to charge. So, goblin time. Let's see what we can do here, because it might not be that over. Let's play the numbers game. Look at Legolas. 5 goblins on Legolas. That's not, you know, as easy as it has been in the past. Let's, oh, he's been charged. Let's stack Gimli. Let's stack Aragorn. This might be our last turn with goblin reinforcements, but we might have a good chance of hurting some of these heroes. So we've got 7 goblins ready to come in. And the odds aren't that great this time, just the 1, so he'll run in and charge Aragorn. So that is some seriously bunched up combats here, guys. Let's start with Legolas. He's the softest, but he's still fight 6. He's got 2 dice. The goblins have 5. Let's see what the goblins can manage. They're strong. They're on 6s. 1, 1, 2, 3, 6. Luckily they had that 5th dice. Here comes Leggy. He's on 4s. I think Legolas can afford to blow his remaining might. He'll go down to 0 to win that fight. Because at the end of the day, there's probably not that many turns left. And we just want to keep him alive. We don't want to risk losing any of these characters. He fails to wound in classic Legolas fashion. Alright, Gimli's turn. Gimli is two-handing because he's so angry and griefy. And he's fighting 5 goblins. This could be scary for Gimli. Let's roll them all together. He has rolled 5s. And so have the goblins, but his 5s go down to 4s. So Gimli will have to use his last point of might. Jeez, we're sapping resources here. Yeah, so he can spend a point of might to win the fight. Push them back, do a couple. He'll need like 3s to wound. He rolls double 1s to wound, so he doesn't even kill anyone. Absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. Let's go Aragorn. Aragorn's got his free, but no other might to speak of. 3 dice versus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 dice for the goblins this turn. And Aragorn has only rolled 4 high, and on 6 dice, the goblins have only managed 4 high. That is a wasted opportunity, goblins. You had Aragorn there. Well, he'll deal needing 4s, and he doesn't kill anyone either. 1s and 2s. Jeez, a very poor turn for wounding. Maybe the Fellowship have been saving all their wounding for Terry the Troll. We've got one more though, the Hobbits. The Hobbits, the Hobbits, the Hobbits. So Frodo's dice is white because it's the only one with might. They're on 6, which the Goblin can't beat. He gets a 4, but they've got the fight value. And the Hobbits show him how it's done, killing him 3 times over. Nice work, Hobbits, holding the flank, keeping yourselves alive. Alright, the final fight. Terry the Troll fighting Gandalf and Boromir. And Terry hasn't won a combat yet again, the poor troll. So he's trapped. Boromir is strength 4, Gandalf is strength 4, so these guys will need 5s. He's on 1 wound, any 5, and Terry is dead. He's dead 4 times. 4 5s they just rolled, and he's trapped. There you go, so they killed him 4 times over. Terry has fallen, and the reinforcements for the goblins come to an end. Probably a few turns left to go now. Priority, and it goes to evil. Now there's not that much might around, to be honest. Gimli is out, Boromir's out, Legolas is out. No, Boromir has 1. Gimli's out, Aragorn's out, Legolas is out. Sam is out, Frodo has some, Gandalf has some. It's actually not that much point in calling any, I don't think. Let's go with... yeah, the goblins can just have it. So there's just going to be a few turns of can the heroes weather the storm of the goblin horde, I think. Now, the goblins aren't broken yet, but we need to keep track of that because courage tests do matter all of a sudden. We're going to gang up on Gimli. I think what we'll do is we'll just tie up Boromir with 2. We'll tie up Gandalf with 1. I think we've got to go like eggs in one basket. Gimli's got no might, so we'll tie him up. And we'll do it that way. 4 on Legolas, 2 on Boromir to try and prevent his heroic combat, and then 1 on Gimli and a whole bunch on Aragorn. Although Gimli's the softened target, maybe I do be a bit smarter with that and split my eggs. There we go. Give everything a chance. The 4 hobbits can respond, however. I think they're going to be brave. Frodo can make a charge and try and help out the others, help out Gimli, but the others won't be in range. So, no shooting for Gandalf, for Legolas, no magic for Gandalf. Let's start with Gandalf. He's 1-on-1. Gandalf wins it. And puts the goblin to death. Nice work, Gandalf. Glamdring flying down. Whoosh. Alright, Boromir fighting 2. Yes, no more goblin reinforcements because the troll has been killed. Boromir gets it big time. And does the heroic combat go off? It does not. 1-1-2. Only needed 4s there. Boromir's out of might. And Legolas is now having to fight 4, which is a tricky situation for the elf on no might. Let's see what the goblins can muster. Whoops. Oh, the goblins have rolled double 6s. They are very keen. Legolas has 2 dice. He is a higher fight value. And he gets a 2 and a 3. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. The goblins are only strength 2 or 3. They're strength 3. So they need 5s to wound. He's trapped though. They've rolled 1, 2, 2, 1, 3. And no 5s there. The second set. No 5s. Legolas just survived 8 dice needing 5s. That's not odds. I feel bad for the goblins. That's terrible. Leggy probably should have died then. Alright, let's continue the luck of the Fellowship. Gimli fighting only 3 now because Frodo has pulled some off. Gimli has rolled a 1 and a 2. And the goblins have rolled double 6s. Now, this look, it's Ratbag. Ratbag has leveled himself up here. So Ratbag is going to be the white dice. Gimli is trapped. Ratbag gets to re-roll with Lords of the West. Okay, no luck on the first set. No luck on the second set. And Ratbag's Lord of the West, nothing. Okay, so Gimli survives with that hardy armor. These Fellowship characters do not die. Alright, let's try Aragorn. Let's just set the tone with Aragorn. He gets a 5, which he can use his free point of might to make a 6, so he automatically wins. Doesn't kill anyone, though. Doesn't kill anyone. Wow, that was just a... They don't die, but they're also slightly ineffectual. Okay, last combat is Frodo versus 1 orc. Frodo wins and kills the orc. That's better, Frodo. The hobbits are doing the work. Alright, priority. Goes to evil once again. There is just no might. There's just no might for it to be worth calling. We're just going to see that these goblins trying to go for the grind here. Oh, hello. Look at this. Look who just found themselves exposed. Hobbit heroes, that's who. Ooh, actually, let's go that way. And then... Oh, no, he'd have a movement for that. The 3 cheap hobbits have just all been engaged. In fact, Frodo's going to be engaged. This is what we need to do. Is tie up the big heroes and go for the hobbits. This is what we should have been doing all along. Alright, we'll tie up Gandalf. We'll tie up Boromir, who can't call heroic combats now. And then we'll try one more time to get the jump on Legolas. Okay, let's start with Aragorn. He's gonna call his heroic combat on the off chance it comes off. He'll only need 4s to wound those guys. So he's fighting 3 goblins. He wins the fight on fight value, 4s each. And he needs 3 4s for this heroic combat to go off. This is a 50%, 25%, 12.5% chance of going off. It comes off! 2 5s and a 4. Nice work, Aragorn. Kills 3 goblins, and he can now charge... we'll charge into Frodo. Alright, let's continue Aragorn. Aragorn on Zorp, he gets the 6, and rinses him. 4 goblins in 1 turn for Aragorn. Frodo's now only fighting 1. He wins. and kills him. Frodo's on fire this turn. That's actually 4 6s for Frodo. He just leveled up. He is now Glor Frodo. And rerolls. Let's do Gimli. Fighting 1 goblin this time. And the goblins will now be broken, so they'll start fleeing next turn. So I'd say the Fellowship have got it. Gimli get it. He only needs 3s. Oh, yeah. Here we go. Here we go. Legolas fighting 3. Legolas has got the 3 dice. And the goblins can't manage higher than a 4. And it's not enough. The Prince of Mirkwood whipping out his knives and killing a goblin. Killing a goblin. Boromir fighting a single one. He gets a 6, so does the goblin, but his fight value's enough. He can't kill him, though. That one bowman has been holding up. Holding up, indeed. We've got Gandalf fighting a single goblin. The goblin loses. Gandalf gets a 2, but the goblin gets a 1. Gandalf can't kill him, though. And now these are the slightly dangerous fights. Merry fighting a single goblin. Just wins it. Good work, Merry. Doesn't kill the goblin. Pippin fighting a single goblin. Pippin loses. Doesn't die, though. Oh, he's trapped, actually. Doesn't die. Sam fighting a single goblin. We're almost out of this Fellowship. Sam loses. He still has fate. He won't need to spend it. He isn't wounded. Oh, has the camera died, has it? Good work, Lockie. Thank you, Kenny. My man Kenny got my back. Kabing, we see back. Sorry, dudes. All over the place this morning. Alright, so everyone has survived, and the Fellowship, they just dished pain this turn. That was savage. Aragorn killed 3 goblins, and then a follow-up on the heroic combat. Frodo killed his goblin. Legolas killed a goblin. I think Merry killed a goblin, or lots of goblins dead. There's very few left. This will be the final turn for sure. It looks like the Fellowship are actually getting through completely unscathed. And priority goes to the Fellowship in a fitting swing. We'll pair up the last of these combats. All the heroes picking on a single one. We'll put Aragorn into this guy. Gimli can jump on him with Frodo. These hobbits can all just gang up on this last goblin. And then this goblin will make him take a courage test. Because they are now broken. And he fails? No, he doesn't. He's courage 2. He actually passes. Well, he's going to charge Legolas. Why not? Why not? Alright, Aragorn calling a heroic combat. He loses, actually. Goblin can't wound him, though. He's getting cocky, you see. He's getting cocky. I don't know what happened to my chat there. Bit why I didn't... Somebody blew out the torch. Thanks, Gandalf. The long dark of Moria. Ah, you guys crack me up. Sorry, my phone screen went blank there and I didn't see the chat message. But luckily Kenny messaged me because he's a good dude. Thank you, Kenny. Always keeping me in check. Alright, Frodo and Gimli fighting against 1 goblin. They get the 6. And the goblin is annihilated. We've got the 3 hobbits bravely taking on a single goblin. 6s for them. And 5s, down goes the goblin. Yeah, bad luck, Moria. I'm so annoyed a single hero didn't get killed. I really wanted one of the hobbits to die. 6 for Gandalf. Gandalf can't kill him. Boromir. Boromir gets the 6 and annihilates the bowman. Man, we must have killed hundreds of goblins. Alright, this is the last chance. The goblins' last chance to kill a Fellowship hero. 2 dice each. Legolas has no fate and only 2 wounds. So if the goblins win and wound both times, they could kill him. Well, they've done the first part. They've won. They now need 5s. Oh, they got 1. They got 1. Legolas takes a wound. And he is safe for another day. So there we go. I think we'll call that scenario there, because obviously there's 2 or 3 goblins left, and the Fellowship have reigned victorious. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to swing this camera back to the hold screen, and then I'll quickly change the board out to our second scenario, and we don't even have to do any campaign rolling because no Fellowship members died. I think, yeah, I mean, we just couldn't get Terry into anyone's soft. He just so many big heroes. Maybe we should have tried to tie them up a bit more before swinging Terry around the flank. That's actually a harder version than the normal scenario. The normal scenario, there's no reinforcements. You just play with what you start with on the board. And I looked at that and I was like, the Fellowship are just gonna mince these goblins. It'll be terrible to watch. But the objective in that scenario is you lose if a single model dies, whereas this is, it doesn't matter because it just carries on to the next campaign. So yeah, we needed more Lord of the West goblins, says Samuel. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. So I'll quickly swing into the other camera mode and we'll get this other board set up, and I'll be back in just a couple of minutes. Alright, boys and girls, we are back. Sorry that took me a little while to set up. I could not work out how to get this to all show up on camera, because it's don't have the most space in here. So we're going to look at part of the board first, and then you'll see the other bits that are over here. when we get to them, we'll move the board and move the camera. So, we are playing battle number 2, the Bridge of Khazad-dûm. This is a pretty gnarly scenario. As you can see there, we have the Stairs of Dwaradelf, which I've finished and painted, which we looked at the beginning. And of course, if you want to see the full journey for carving and making those, check out the last stream. And now we are diving into the awesome scenario where the Fellowship, who are up on the top of the stairs there that you guys can see, they have to run their way all the way down the stairs and then get over the bridge, which is at the bottom of screen, and then which will move and adjust the board position as the Fellowship move off the stairs. We start off on turn 1 with the 8 Moria goblins with bows running in under the bridge, and they'll be taking shots and shooting at the Fellowship while moving to get up here to try and stop them. And then on turn 7, all of the rest of the goblins will enter, and then is it 9? And then turn 9, the Balrog enters the arch. So the goblins have to get up there, slow the Fellowship down as much as possible, and the Fellowship's aim is simply to get off the board and to get Frodo off the board in particular and destroy the bridge. Gandalf's ability to destroy the bridge is related to his Sorcerous Blast ability. We've got, it's my phone. Can't see my phone anywhere. I don't know what to do with that. He casts Sorcerous Blast at the bridge, and it deals wounds to the bridge. The bridge has 3 wounds, and Sorcerous Blast will do like a random amount of wounds to it as per a table, and then depending on what happens, basically Gandalf has to suicide himself. Everyone on the bridge will die at that point. So obviously Gandalf the Balrog falls into the abyss. If you still have any Fellowship members on the bridge when that happens, then yeah, you're cooked. The Balrog, of course, can try and kill Gandalf before that happens. So that's going to be interesting. Frodo must be alive and on the other side of the bridge. Gandalf must destroy the bridge, and the evil player wins if Frodo dies, or he can kill Gandalf before the bridge is destroyed, or if the Balrog gets across the bridge. So we've got a couple of little gaps to leap, because of course we all remember the scene where they're throwing each other over the gap as it's sliding out from under them. If any of the hobbits fail their jump tests, nearby heroes must spend might points to modify those tests to catch them and save them. And then I think that's basically it. So, without further ado, let's get into rolling some dice. I'll grab my dice tray. Oh, there's my phone. It's in my dice tray. Of course. Where else would you put it? So let's have our little dice section. We're going to move a pillar for the time being, so that you guys can see the dice nicely. We'll move that pillar back in due course. And I'll just come up and join the chat. And just check in with you guys before we roll dice. Ezekiel is very excited to see Merry and Pippin die. George says, I'm a noob, I have to play some games of SBG. After the pandemic, I should get some games in. Can you use might on jump tests? You absolutely can. Failed jump test, says Buck and Duck. Hey, Maku Bakan's in the chat. Mr. Buck and Duck is the wonderful man who painted up all of these Fellowship miniatures for us to give away, so make sure you guys do go and check out his YouTube channel. It is linked in the description already. Post up a link in the chat for them, Michael, and they'll at least, you know, just use that middle mouse button, tab it over there, and after the stream, go look at it and check it all out. So what do we want some? We're gonna need some calls, guys. We're gonna need some. Obviously, people are gonna want to be on Team Balrog. People are gonna want to be on Team Fellowship. But remember, our incredible goblin characters from last scenario are still here. So one of them is on the board already, and he is leveled up, and his abilities now apply to his shooting attack. So he will be re-rolling his wounds with his shooting ability. So that's pretty insane, and that is Mega Blast was his goblin name. So I'm going to swing my mic up here so that you guys can hear me nicely. Just let me know if I need to adjust any volumes or some such, because I don't have monitoring while we're playing. And let's jump in. Good. It's a scenario, so of course good has priority to begin with. And the Fellowship models all start at the top, so they'll make their way down. We won't be able to make any jump tests yet. We'll just get nice and close. The obvious thing we're going to do is cast Blinding Light with Gandalf. He gets it on a 2+. He gets the 3. And now we just want to get everyone within that bubble. The hobbits are basically going to finish about halfway down the stairs. So we'll just leave them at the top for now, for the sake of the models. And Legolas is actually going to stay stationary up the top and shoot on down at them, which is probably slightly awkward because he's going to be out of the 6-inch bubble for a little while, but that's fine. I don't really think, if the goblins move 2.5 inches, they're not even going to have a clear shot this turn. So they're just going to have to do a full move of 5 inches. It's actually going to allow them to get a fair bit ahead of the Fellowship. Hang on a minute. Why have I only got 6 goblins? Where's the other bowman? There he is. Right. He should be there as well. Don't want to leave him behind. He's quite nicely painted. I like that one. Okay, so we have all 8 archers. They're not going to be able to shoot. Legolas is going to be able to shoot, though. He's going to drop 3 shots down into the Legolas, into the gobbos. He's hit twice. And no wounds. Legolas continues his incredible shooting form. Incredible shooting form. Why is my chat gone dead? There we go, that's better. I can see you guys now. And then the gobbos can't return fire because they full move, so it's priority for turn number 2. We've got to track these turns, guys, because we do have reinforcements tied to them. And it goes to evil. Now, I think they might... I mean, they're pretty much always going to get a cover save because of the elevated position. So I just... Now, well... I'm thinking, we're going to get good shots from this direction. No, let's just half move like the whole time. So we're always putting shots out. Because we're hitting on 6s anyway, so there's no difference between standing still and shooting. So we might as well be always half moving to get that 2, just slowly getting up to eventually block the Fellowship off. But we're hitting on 6s because of blinding light. Right, let's begin these jump tests. Gandalf's leaping... Oh, now what order do they jump in the movie? It was Gandalf first. I think it was Gandalf first. Well, that's the order we're doing it in. Gandalf gets a big 6, which is great, because he can jump and then move, you know, to there to get like a base width apart. Boromir will go next. He gets a 5. He's not going to modify that. We'll save his might, so he's just going to stay there. Aragorn next. Well, Aragorn should be last. Gimli next. Gimli gets a 2. He slips, but he's fine, right on the edge. And that's everyone who's able to jump this turn. So Aragorn's going to stay still and be able to shoot. The rest of the hobbits will come in there in defense. And honestly, I think Leggy can just stay up there and keep getting his 3 shots. The goblins have moved anyway, so they're hitting on 6s if they target him. So, speaking of archery, we have 8 shots from the goblins. And they're going to shoot at Legolas, seeming as he's out in the open. You know what? Because Leggy's right on the edge, I don't actually think he's going to get a cover save. Tell you what, we'll give him a, like a 5-up cover save. Or like a 3-up, rather. So, the goblins have hit once out of 8 dice. Hitting on 6s, of course. Because they have moved. Oh, hang on a minute. We're in 2001 now. That movement and shooting penalty doesn't exist. So they actually are hitting Legolas on 5s. Oh, I have to remember that. So that's 2 hits on Leggy. And there's only 50-50 in the way, so we have to see, is any of him blocked? Yeah, it will be. So he'll have it in the way. 1 shot gets past the stonework, and they'll need 5s to wound. No wounds on Legolas. Leggy's risk is fine. Now he's dropping 3 shots in return. He misses with 1. He needs 5s. He kills 2 goblins. Nice work, Legolas. Sniping crag and a generic goblin. Alright, let's jump into Aragorn's shooting. He hits on 3s, and he misses. He's too busy helping the hobbits get ready to jump. Okay, priority for turn number 2. Goes to good again. So, what Gandalf's going to do is he's just going to stay nice and central. Boromir is just going to sprint down to the bottom, staying within 6 inches. Gimli will sort of go halfway down the stairs. And now let's start with these hobbits. Pippin making the leap. Oh, Pippin falls! And Aragorn is going to have to catch him and spend his free point of might to help him cross the gap. Alright, next one. Let's do Merry. Merry's fine. Merry makes the leap. And Sam gets up there. Legolas is going to make a full move to get back up with the group. and that's not too bad. Aragorn will get to shoot. The goblins will still move. That was some pretty savage shooting, actually. We will go 2.5 inches again. Oh, we're going to drop a couple of shots. Luckily, even though Pippin fell, Aragorn's free might doesn't. It's just ridiculous. Doesn't actually have any impact because what was Aragorn going to spend that might on? Okay, Aragorn's shooting. He hits. And he fails to wound. The 6 goblins returning fire. Only 6 of them now. Hitting on 6s. Oh, hitting on 6s because they're Gandalf's blinding light. They get 1/6. Who are they even shooting at? We'll say they're shooting at Pippin. Oh, they've wounded Pippin! He stumbles, nearly falls. He crawls himself up and then gets hit by an arrow. He has to spend his fate point. He fails! Pippin has been shot off into the abyss. Ah! Pippin has fallen. 1 hobbit down. You guys are mad at me for not letting Pippin fall. I didn't need to. The goblins finished him off. Oh, dear me. Well, this was all his fault anyway. Alright. Priority. You guys wanted some hobbit blood. Okay, it's tied, which means Eve will go first this turn. We'll just keep half moving. Because we're still going to have some shots down that central corridor. Alright, so that is good move. We've got Boromir's just going to stay down here. Gimli will finish his move. We'll just shuffle along a little bit, keeping them within 6 inches. We've got some visitors. Hello, have you come to watch?
Somebody was getting very excited about your excitement.
Oh, my excitement is contagious, I've been told. Merry is going to go halfway down the stairs. We'll keep Gandalf central for that blinding light. Okay, Aragorn's going to help Sam make the leap. Sam is fine. Sam is fine. No one trust anything I'm typing in chat right now. It's very suspicious that my hands are here on camera and yet I'm typing messages. Alright, Legolas is going to make the Elven leap. He's fine, makes a big 4. In fact, what we might do, we kind of need to get out of this a bit more quickly, I think. So we'll spend a point of might of Legolas's to bridge the gap and keep running. So Merry and Legolas are now both halfway down the stairs. Aragorn's going to help Frodo make the jump. Oh, Frodo falls! Aragorn, what are you doing? Aragorn will have to spend his free point of might again to help the Hobbit leap. And unfortunately, that's ruined our plans. Because I can't... Aragorn is now stuck on the other side. So Aragorn tried to grab Frodo when he slipped, but then caught him just at the end there. Everyone's saying hello to you. Oh, you can see, you're typing to them. Alright, so let's go to goblins. Well, you know who the goblins are going to shoot at now. They're shooting at Frodo. They'll have to shoot through Sam, and they're hitting on 6s, but it's worth it. They get it. They hit on a 6. Look at that. 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 6. And now in the way past the stonework. Gets through. In the way past Sam. Gets through. And needing... He's got his mithril coat, so they'll need a 6 to wound. No wounds on Frodo. Lucky for Frodo. Alright, priority. Right, so it stays with evil. What I might do now is I'll punch in a little bit closer so you guys can see the fellowship on the stairs. Give you guys a nice tight angle. Just come in a little bit. And you'll be able to see the stairs as well as the goblins there. And I'll put the dice tray over there and then everyone will be able to see. Okay. Fruit Loops, there's not much space in here. Okay, so there, we'll put the dice tray here. So the goblins have got a chance to move. I think what they'll do is they're actually going to make a full move this turn. So they're going to go a full 5 inches that way. Bearing in mind that there is a pillar just there. Where's... Oh, I can't see from... Trying, yeah. Oh, it sort of is?
I mean, like, now it sort of is.
Okay, there you go. There's the dice tray. I'll roll in this corner. And then they'll be able to see. Okay, so that's their move, their full move, so no shooting this turn. And there's a foot. There's a foot from a little goblin. Alright, so Boromir and... Boromir and Gimli. I think I might actually sprint these guys ahead. So Boromir's going to go 3 inches, 4 inches, 6 inches, and Gimli will join him at 5 inches. These guys are going to be the vanguard. Merry and Legolas, remember, are halfway there, so we'll just leave them down below. Because Gandalf's blinding light isn't an issue now, because they've moved, so Gandalf's just going to make the move. Frodo and Sam are going to be halfway down the stairs, and now Aragorn just needs to make a leap, taking up the rear. And he gets a 2, just crossing, and he'll have to stay there this turn. So there's no shooting from either side. Priority for turn... What are we in? Is this turn 5, guys? I think this is turn 5. Yes, turn 5. Turn 5, turn 5. Okay, so, turn 5 is big because all the other goblins now arrive. The Fellowship need to motor. I'll put that in there, then you guys can see. So let's do priority. Oh, double 6s. It swings to the Fellowship. So, Boromir is legging it. Gimli is halfway down the stairs, an inch back from Boromir. Legolas is going to stay still. No, he'll just stay still because Aragorn's got to catch up anyway. Merry is going to move full. Gandalf is going to move full. He'll end up there. That covers everyone in blinding light. And Aragorn will move full as well. So Leggy hasn't moved. He's got some shots to make. And then obviously the hobbits. Where did I just put them? Merry and Sam, Frodo and Sam rather, will only be about there for that 4 inches coming off the back of the stairs. They were halfway down the stairs, so they'd actually even be further back than that. So, yeah, we're getting a bit of split here, but that's okay. So, that's all very nice and exciting, but unfortunately for the Fellowship, 5 inches, here comes the main force of goblins. This is going to be... The Fellowship needs to get a wriggle on here. Because there is going to be quite a force of goblins that they have to cut through. They're just going to be going straight for the bridge. And the Balrog is only 2 turns away, and he moves 6 inches. So, this is quite tight, actually. I'm not really sure how... yeah, we'll see. We'll see. This could be very, very scary indeed. So there's all our main bulk of goblins. Can you guys see that? Yep, they've come on. Now these guys, everyone's within the blinding light, so once again they're going to half move so they can still keep dropping some shots. They've managed to kill Pippin. Who knows what they could achieve? We'll put our pillar back in, and I'll put this in the center here between the pillars. Nope. I'll put it here. Perfect. Okay, so, shooting. Good had priority. Legolas is worried about these archers. He's going to drop some shots straight down into them. He has hit 3 times, and he needs 5s to kill them. And he gets 2, a 6 and a 5. Another double kill from Legolas. Fantastic work. Luckily, our special guy, our reroll wound and hit is at the back. Our reroll wound, rather. Alright, 4 shots from the goblins, hitting on 6s. They are going to go for... They're probably going to go for Merry. He's the most exposed. And they've got the 6. It's not our beloved dude, though. And they will need 5s to wound Merry. Oh, in the way first. Gets past the rock on a 4. Doesn't wound Merry. Merry's safe. He ducks. And it whizzes past him. Or it bounces off his sword or something. Okay, Aragorn has moved full, so no shooting for Aragorn. Let's go into priority. And it goes to... That's both good team dice. I need a good and an evil. It goes to another double 6. It swings back to evil. Okay, evil have got it. Alright, the goblins have officially got to the bottom of the stairs, so we're going to have to fight our way through these archers. So they can just sit there now and basically open fire. Now the other goblins, I think they're just going to sprint. They're just going to go the full sprint for the bridge. Because if they can hold the bridge, and the Fellowship have to cut their way through, this will be very, very grim indeed. Alright, so the Balrog does not arrive at on this turn. He arrives next turn. Okay, Fellowship time. We need to go. We need to go. So 6... So Boromir is halfway down the stairs. Gimli was already halfway down that stair, so he'll only be up there. Gandalf, 3 inches, 3 inches. He's at the bottom. Merry is sort of precariously on the first stair there. Frodo and Sam, look how far behind they are. This is the problem. Legolas can literally afford to just stay back and shoot. Aragorn, however, needs to just run. And Legolas has been doing damage, so we might as well keep Leggy there and keep thinning the numbers, because he can always catch up with his full 6-inch move. Ezekiel says, Merry will join Pippin eventually. The Balrog needed some food, so he saved Merry. Aaron says, don't they run away once the Balrog comes? Nah, the goblins are like, nah, we want Fellowship blood. Okay, so, goblins had priority. So 4 shots coming in hot from the goblin. White is our beloved friend. Oh, we got 1 hit. I don't even know who we were shooting at. Merry, that's right. And it doesn't get past the rock. Or actually, it wouldn't need to, because Merry's got no in the way now as they come down the stairs. But they missed anyway. Legolas returning fire down into the archers. He hits twice. And he wounds again. Another one goes down. Only 3 of the archers remaining, as the sniper fire pins them down. And that's it. Priority. We keep on grinding. Turn 7. It swings to the forces of good. Boromir is about ready to make the charge. He races forward. Gimli, 5 inches, gets to the bottom there. The blinding light doesn't even matter at this point. Gimli, what's his name? Gandalf, rather, is halfway down. I'll chuck him up there with a dice. Pippin, he's reached the bottom. Aragorn, 3, he's reached the bottom. Our poor little hobbits with the ring, the bloomin' ring bearer, is all the way at the back, and Legolas, once again, he's gonna stay. There's gonna be plenty of targets for Leggy. All right, let's reposition this camera. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of worried, kind of concerned about how the Fellowship can sort of make this. We'll have to wait and see. I mean, we've got some good heroes that are on full stats. They had their little period of rest, so I should be able to put that dice box there. You guys should be able to see. There we go. That's perfect. Now we can put back the pillar in. Alright. So, Gobbos. Boromir's still in blinding light, so they might as well move. They're going to move 2.5 to get to the base of the stairs. They're gonna get charged next turn if they stay there. I think. No, we'll give them 1 more turn of shooting. So we'll stay out of 6 of Boromir, but we'll be there enough to be able to pin him in. All right, here we go. 5 inches for the goblins. If I don't knock the pillars and squash them all. That's our front rank. Let's move those guys up. Pikes in front, archers behind. Oh, except more like shields in front, pikes behind. Alright, the goblins are moving up. And here we go, boys and girls. It's time to present the incredibly painted, high-quality Balrog that you know, the quality that you love and have come to expect from Zorpazorp. Let me introduce you to... Oh, where did I put him? Steve the Balrog! So, this is, we're going full retro here with these magazines. When they released these kind of scenarios that had really big, expensive models, they wouldn't provide that model, obviously, but they provide most of the models over the course of the various fortnights, so they will provide these cardboard cutouts. So I don't actually own a Balrog, I just have never bought one. So we are literally playing with cardboard cutout Balrog. Here he comes on the battlefield. So he is moving on a big 6 inches. I have no idea how we're going to deal with the whole, like, combat side of things. We'll probably put down a base underneath him for when we're doing combat, or blue tack it to a base. It's just wild. I've always wanted to play with these things. So we have cardboard cutout Balrog. Yeah, gonna be awesome. So Steve the Balrog, he's ready to carve up some Fellowship. Let's get on to the Fellowship's move, because have they moved already this turn? No, yes they have, because the Balrog came in last. Cool, so it's shooting time. Legolas is probably... I don't know if there's any point in Legolas trying to shoot the Balrog. We're never going to hurt him. I think we just start thinning these ranks, because these guys have a cover save now. So 3 Legolas shots. We've got 2 hits and a cocked die. That's still 2 hits. And he's going into the back rank there, picking on some spearmen, and double 6s for Legolas. 2 spearmen go down. Oh, we'll just grab 2 at the back, whatever they are. Legolas is racking up the kills now. This is the Legolas we know and love. He has killed 7 so far with his shooting. And Aragorn's moved full, so it's just these 3. And you bloody better believe they're going to shoot straight up into Boromir. He's dropping down on top of them. And they all miss. No, I was using Fellowship dice. What happens if I use Moria dice? Oh, that's a bit more successful. Got a 6. No wounds, though. Okay, priority. The race against time now. 4s and 4s. The amount of times priority has been tied. So it'll swing to the goblins now. Those goblins are going to stay still. We've actually got a great chance of tying these guys up. So, what we're going to do is we're going to send some goblins on an angle to go and harass the Fellowship, and sort of just be all these goblins are time. They are time in model form. We are wasting the Fellowship's time before the Balrog comes in and goes, well, hi, I'm Steve. I'd like to eat you. And Steve runs through the pillars. He's already catching the goblins with that 6-inch move. Now, Boromir... he's got 5 inches to get down there. Yes, I did measure it right. He's not going to be able to get in range of a charge. So he'll just sit there. Oh man, Gimli could just suicide himself into the orcs. He's pretty angry, I'm not going to lie. Tell you what's got to start happening is we've got to start using magical powers with Gandalf. We don't want to burn any, but we can use some free stuff. So he needs to be casting like immobilizers on the Balrog to try and like slow him down. So Gandalf's going to move full. He's going to move 6 inches. And then the Balrog's already moved this turn, so there's no point in mobilizing. So he's just going to throw a Strength 8 hit at a Goblin with Sorceress Blast. So he will hit on a 5. He misses. No big deal. Didn't cost us anything. It was all free. Gimli. How far is that? It's 3 inches, and his model height is 1.5. So he'll actually only take 1 Strength 3 hit. Gimli is just going to run and jump. He jumps. He takes falling damage. 1 Strength 3 hit. That'll be 6s by 4s. No wounds. Gimli's now down. So he's going to be able to hold those goblins a bit while the rest of the Fellowship go. Merry is going to sprint and get caught up on the stairs. Oh, man. Why hasn't Aragorn been calling heroic marches? Actually, did heroic march even exist? I can't remember. When did heroic march come in, guys? I have a feeling it was a thing. That may have been why this feels so difficult. My 4 hobbits, my two hobbits at the rear, and now I think it's time for Legolas to start catching up. So 4 inches, 2 inches, no more sniping from Leggy. He's done his damage. Now it's time to just... I may have waited too long. He's quite far behind now. I mean, he did great work, but I may have waited too long. We'll have to wait and see. Okay, so shooting. These goblins have obviously got 3 shots directly into Boromir's face. He's within blinding light still, so 6s. They all miss. Gimli has a throwing axe, though. He's going to throw an axe right into that guy. He misses. Yeah, I have a feeling Heroic March wasn't around yet. I can't remember. It'll be in the Heroic Action section of what's available to the heroes, which was episode... I have it just here, actually. So we learnt how to use Might, Will, and Fate in... There was Fate. I think it was that one. Heroic Combat, Heroic Move. Yeah, no, Heroic March didn't exist yet. We're good, I'm not crazy. I thought there was a reason that it hadn't occurred to my brain. Yeah, no Heroic March, we're good. We're good. Okay, so, Fellowship have moved. Goblins have stayed still. It's priority, I think. Did I just check the OG rulebook? Awesome, thank you, dude. We need splat markers, one for Pippin and the other for Legolas. Yeah, well, he is gonna die. So I just went into shooting after the Fellowship moved. Yeah, that's right. So we're into priority. I'm losing my mind here now. Getting all worried. Alright, so it's swung to the Fellowship. So Boromir is obviously going to make a charge. His Horn rule will work now. So what he'll do is he'll wrap and charge both of them. What's the... Dewey Kamikaze Gimli? I mean, he's tough, but it basically means he'll die. From a playing point of view, that doesn't matter. From a story point of view, it doesn't feel good. We'll throw Gimli in here for now. And we'll throw... Gandalf's not going to be able to make combat. So what he's going to do is, if we pivoted the Balrog, we would have line of sight to him, even though the pillar's there, but he's not actually meant to be a thin piece of cardboard. So Gandalf is going to throw in a mobilize on the Balrog. Now let's get the Balrog stats, because this is, you know, early days Balrog. So he's got all the rules and war gear for the Balrog are in pack 20, so that's pack 22. Where's pack 20? 21. Hashtag prepared. What did I... Oh, there it is. There it is. How? Sorry, dude. It's going to be blocking the camera for a sec while I dig out my... Ugh. Well, that's pack 19! Where's 20? Side note, look at my Blood Ravens transfers. Woo! Sorry, I thought they were in that rulebook. They're not. They have betrayed me. They're in here. Okay, 14... 18... 20. So, we have the Balrog. So, he is 500 points. He has Lash, Terror, Goblin Mastery. So the Balrog has 4 attacks, one of which is his special Lash attack. When rolling to strike, use a different color to represent the Lash. Okay, that's interesting. We'll deal with that in a sec. Will. So the Balrog always resists magic with the same number of dice as it has remaining wounds. Wow, this old school Balrog's nuts. So if Gandalf tries to cast magic on the Balrog, he has 10 dice to resist at the moment. That's insane. That is insane. I'm not sure we should even bother trying to slow him down. Gandalf would have to cast it on a 6. I mean, it's possible. Let's do it. Let's throw a free one in. It's so unlikely. We should probably just start trying to... Well, look, the way I look at it is if we just start trying to kill a few goblins, that net gain isn't that valuable. But if it does come off against the Balrog, it will be useful. So, let's go... let's target the Balrog with Immobilize. We fail it on a 1, so it doesn't matter. Didn't cost us anything, it was free. And Gandalf will move down. Alright, Aragorn is going to make a full move. Merry has reached the bottom. Frodo and Sam are actually an inch down, but I'll just measure there for now. Legolas will make a full move down to the bottom. The race is on, the race is on. Okay, we'll have some combats this turn. This goblin here is free to move, so I mean it would be dumb to just not charge him into Gandalf. Just on the off chance he hurts him. These goblins are coming in hot. 5 inches, not 6. Nearly moved them 6 then. And in comes some more spearmen for the support. These goblins are definitely running around. We need to cut off that access point. Sprint, sprint, sprint. Sprint for your lives, Groblogs, Gobjobs. And the Balrog is just running straight for the bridge. He's not messing around. He's not accidentally getting boxed out or anything. Yeah, cool. Okay. He's not too happy with the Fellowship's quarterly reports. Too much money on breakfast. Couldn't agree more. Let's spin that Balrog so you guys can see him. So there's no shooting from the Fellowship. There's no shooting from the goblins. But boy, is there some combat. So, Gimli. I think Boromir's going to call a heroic combat. I think Gimli will as well. And we'll try and do a bit of a swing. So I might move the camera again now that we're off the back portion of the stairs. Just because of the size of this board, I'm sort of... just want to make sure it's nice and visually interesting for you guys. We'll go there. That should give us a good indication of everything to see. Is that focusing? Get off the spot focus. There we go, that's better. Oh, I have to do like limbo to climb through all my cables every time I change the camera. Okay, let's go, let's throw that guy down there. Yes, you can see that dice box there. So, let's do Boromir's heroic combat first. He's got 3, he's fighting 1 bowman. He's got it on a 5, and he will need 4s to wound that bowman. He gets it. What he's going to do is I will swap... I'll just pull this out for now and mark it with dice so that you guys can see it. So Boromir is going to fly in here and charge those 2 guys. Now he will... Now Gimli will do the same. So that is 1 point of Boromir's might gone. Gimli is going to... He's got 2 attacks. He's going to fight normally though. And he's fighting against 1 goblin. Another heroic combat here. It goes off. He will need a single 4. He gets it. Nice work, guys. And his heroic combat goes off. I think what we'll do is we'll throw him into these 2 goblins. And I forgot to throw his axe on the way in, so we'll be nice and we'll give it to him now. He misses. So 2 more combats now. Boromir is going to blow the Horn of Gondor, except... Moria goblins automatically pass any courage test they are normally required to make. For example, this applies if Boromir blows his horn. So the horn won't work. So Boromir actually has to fight these guys normally. So Boromir fighting 2. They all get 6s. Big 6s for these 2 goblins. But it is 6 for the... Interesting. What model is that? Why is he still alive? He must be dead. I think I forgot to take him off the board. 6 for Boromir. And now he will need 5s to wound these guys. And it doesn't come off, which is annoying. It's probably not worth wasting the might on it, but it's a shame because it means the heroic combat was kind of a waste of time. But it got him to a better position, which is sort of also equally important. Gimli fighting 2. Oh, he's accidentally charged 1 with a spear support. This might come back to bite him. Luckily he doesn't clutch it. I'm going to rely on my defense here. And see if we can tank some wounds. Yeah, no wounds there, we're fine. So Boromir and Gimli spent a point of might each. I'm trying to create some board control, but they didn't actually get any extra kills, and Gimli ended up where he was before he charged, and Boromir just moved 6 inches. So probably not the best management of might there, guys. Yeah. Oh well, that's okay. We've still got a screen of goblins between the Balrog and these heroes, so that's good. The last combat, of course, is Gandalf versus 1 Balrog, 1 goblin, and Gandalf makes him feel very good indeed. And Gandalf finishes him, rolling 6s and then a 5. Nice work, Gandalf. That clears the stairwell. So I guess at least those guys there can tie them up, and we will have control of the stairwell entrance now. So let's jump into priority. It goes to evil. That's pretty big. That's pretty big. So, I'm just going to put this back in, just while we do these moves, and then I'll point to you what's changed. Oh, I mean, I'll just rotate the board, actually. Might help you guys a bit. Don't need these goblins anymore. Move them over to here. And I'll see if I can make that a little bit more visually good for you guys. I'll probably adjust the board a little bit every now and then as we move closer to the Bridge of Khazad-dûm. Alright, so this is where we are now. And we'll just come out a little bit. Alright. So, we've got the goblins, we've got Gandalf. We need to start getting to this bridge, of course. So let's go... Oh, it's Goblin's move, isn't it? It's evil move. So they're obviously just going to swamp Boromir and Gimli and kind of make them pay for... Oh, actually, this guy should charge Gandalf and block up the stairs. Jeez, maybe it's worth calling a heroic move, actually. This could be pretty rubbish. Yeah, we'll just use Aragorn's free to call a heroic move. Aragorn's right up here. So, in fact, Aragorn can move 4 and charge that one. Who else was in range of Aragorn? So Merry as well. And then that gives us full board control. So then Boromir, he has to finish within 6. So that kind of means that we're spending a turn here fighting, unfortunately. So Boromir will slide in there. Gimli's going to slide around the back. And Gandalf is going to go here. Oh, we're so going to be fighting our way through the Balrog if we do this. This is bad. This is bad. We got to play smarter than this. So if Aragorn finishes there, Gimli can run around the back like that. Boromir's basically just got to do a full move to stay far away. Gandalf's going to do a full move. We got to start getting some board control and heading towards the bridge. And yeah, I mean, I know those guys are going to get swamped by goblins, but they'll just have to fight their way out. And Gandalf is just going to throw a random sorceress blast at a goblin who's heading towards the bridge. 5s. He hits. Strength 8. Kills him. Boom. Smashes a goblin. Good work, Gandalf. Still on full magic, just spending freeze. So the goblins will now counter charge, I suppose. And I think what we do is that we gang up on these guys. We'll just let Aragorn. Oh, we'll just split them up, and we'll just get in. These goblins. I'm struggling to see how the Fellowship can get to this bridge. Hey, this is a really tough scenario. I don't even think these guys are gonna fight. Where's my little axe tool? What's this? Here we go. So this is... Should have a little axe somewhere. That's fine. Is that it? Is it up there? No. Okay. I'll just use Glandry. This is way easier to move these little short goblin moves. 5 inches. So we now officially have goblins that are like behind the Fellowship. And then there's, you know, the whole Balrog problem of the fact that he is now within charge range of Boromir. This is nuts. How do they get out of this? Okay, let's just check if the Balrog has a throwing weapon. I don't think he does. I think Lash... Yeah, Lash, like, improves his combat. We'll get into that very shortly, I'm sure, because I think we're about to find him. Oh, man. Oh, man. Brutal. Okay, let's get the rest of the Fellowship out of here. So 4 inches. Merry's at the top of the stairs. The Hobbits were just balancing off the edge, so they're at the bottom. Legolas is like stuck behind the Hobbits now. So we'll just sit him there, but he's behind them. So these guys are still coming off the stairs up here, and we're in sort of struggle street combat-wise. Aragorn has spent his free to call a heroic combat already. Goblin player has priority, so they'll put all the attacks on Gimli and leave the one model on Aragorn. No, I guess if we pair it off, it makes it less likely to heroic combat. Yeah, we'll pair them up evenly, which means that Aragorn won't heroic combat. So let's just do Gimli first. Gimli fighting 4. Can anyone else see a way out of this for the Fellowship? Because I'm looking at this and it just seems like the Fellowship's about to die. About to get minced by Balrog. I'm just going to pull out that one so you guys can see. So Gimli rolls low. The goblins get 6s. No wounds though. He is trapped actually, so doubling up. Oh, they get 2 6s. They need to turn those 6s into 4s. Gimli takes no wounds. That is incredibly lucky for the son of Durin. Oh, I accidentally put too many models on them anyway. Well, Aragorn only has to fight 2 now. In which case, he probably would have called a heroic combat. Doesn't matter. Aragorn gets it on the 6 and rinses the goblin he's fighting. That's it for combats. Okay, this is a huge priority because the Balrog doesn't have might. Okay, so good get it on a 6, which means they don't have to spend might, which is so important because they need to get out of range of the Balrog. So the Balrog is there. So what what Boromir and Gandalf are going to do is charge this goblin at the back here, which means that the Balrog will be like literally a 16th out of range of countercharging them. Aragorn and Gimli, I think they've got to. I think we basically have to send someone in to pin the Balrog. Liam says you got to sacrifice Boromir, sacrifice the unworthy Fellowship members. Gandalf has magic, Irish Marine, but his magic basically does nothing to the Balrog. The Balrog gets as many dice as he has wounds to resist. But a good point Gandalf should have cast just then, so let's just quickly throw a free... Oh, you know what? I'm going to try and immobilize the Balrog. It's a 4. It's a 4. So, the Balrog has 10 dice to resist. The immobilize goes off on a 4+. So let's see if the Balrog resists. Okay, so the Balrog rolls a 6, so that's resisted. Dear me. Dear me. Artist Poet says, I hope he keeps this vid up for a time so I can watch Pippin die spectacularly. These vids always stay up, my dude. They're just under the live tab on the channel. You can always watch these back. So I think what's got to happen is Aragorn is going to have to charge these 2. Gimli's going to charge these guys. Merry is going to perform a jump test. He's fine. And he is going to drop down into combat with that guy. Legolas is going to perform a full move. Oh no, the Hobbits are going to sidle up so Leggy can do a full move to the end there. Oh man, we are running out of options here. Okay, so Evil's turn. The Goblins, they're obviously just going to stack Gandalf and Boromir now. Pikes in front, archers behind, the usual works. Put him like that, he'll be able to get in. And then the Balrog is just going to move 6 inches. He's going to be there, bearing down on them for next turn. Okay, let's switch up this board before we take this turn any further, and let's get the bridge in play, and let's get the rest of the components. So let me swivel this around. How's going to be the best way to work this? I'll pivot this. Like that. And send it up the back there, because we do not need to see the stairs anymore. And then I'll grab the bridge, which is under here, prepared and ready and waiting. Here is the bridge. We're going to have a second bridge of dice tray, and I'll tweak the camera. Now we have a lovely finishing shot. Oh, it's actually pretty good. Just leave it about there. We can punch it in when we get closer to the bridge like that. So we'll start up there so we can see every member of the Fellowship. And I'll just zoom in. It should be perfect. Okay, that should be our camera for the rest of the game now. So pretty much out of the way of the pillars. We've got Gimli and that behind here, and the Balrogs here as well. Alright, let's see what you guys reckon the Fellowship should do in chat, because I'm a little worried about them. Damien has joined us. He says, the wounds equals resist dice is the worst idea in the long sad history of bad ideas. Kevin says, this is such a great board. Thank you, dude. It would be a different story if Bill the Pony wasn't abandoned. Balin is the answer to the Fellowship's success. Merry needs to avenge his life partner. Hobbit's in combat. He's taking the sacrifice the unworthy very seriously. Hey, don't knock Merry. He's amazing. He's got 1 attack at fight 3. What more could you want? Alright, let's do this. We're going to go into the combat phase and we're going to call heroic combats with Boromir. So he's down to 4 might. I'm going to call a heroic combat with Aragorn using his free. And I'm going to call a heroic combat with... that's about it. So let's start with the Gorn. Gorny's got 3. I'm probably going to have to sink might to make this happen, but he needs some board control. Aragorn gets it on 6s, and he'll need 4s and... No, he needs... Oh, damn it, he needs 5s. I didn't notice that. Ah, bugger. 2, 3, and a 4. It doesn't come off. Luckily, it was just a free point of mine. I can still back away closer, so that's a small benefit. Let's use Boromir now. Boromir is fighting... who had priority? The Fellowship did, so they can split up who's fighting who. I think we'll put all of these attacks on Boromir and make Gandalf's life a little easier. So it's 4 attacks on Boromir. Probably shouldn't have called the heroic combat. Oh, man! Goblins rolled 3 6s, and Boromir rolled 4 high. They need 6s to wound Borry. And he is absolutely fine. 1s and 3s. So he backs away. The thing is, Gandalf and Boromir are close to the bridge. But Frodo is like 10 turns away. How is this... This just isn't gonna happen. This is insane! Alright. Okay. Okay. Gandalf fighting 3 now. Gandalf clutches it on fight value, only rolling a 3, but the goblins sucked. And he's going to put 1 down as well, I can feel it. No, but they back away. So interestingly enough, they'll still get the Balrog could still make a charge. We've got might though, so we can call a heroic move. Okay, Gimli up the back there, fighting 2. Come on, Gimli, I need you. I need you. Need you. He misheard me, obviously. Rolled a 2 and a 3. And... Ooh, dangerous territory. Got a 6. No, no wounds. Okay, Gimli's fine. He backs away. Okay, Merry. Your time to shine, bro. That's not shining. He rolls a 1. And takes a wound. And dies. Right, okay, 6. So both Merry and Pippin are now dead. So that didn't work. Fabulous. Wicked. This is all going to plan. Priority. Hopefully good can win this and save the might. It's a tie, which means it swings to evil. So, let's look at our options here. Aragorn's obviously a candidate for the heroic move. But Boromir will be out of position. I think we got to do it. I think we'll do it. So Aragorn will call heroic move. At the end of the day, we win if Frodo survives. Whew, this is going to be gnarly. Okay, Aragorn's going in. Aragorn's going in. Aragorn, I love you, but you're going to die. Okay, Aragorn goes in. Yeah. Or do we use Boromir? No, I think we'll use Boromir. So we'll go... but Boromir's out of range. Boromir's out of range. This is not going according to plan. And Gimli will need to stay within 6, and he's got control zones to kind of avoid. So I think what I can do here is Aragorn will just have to charge the Balrog, which means Gimli can charge and wrap those 2 and stay within 6. Gandalf is going to cast... let's just try this immobilized ploy one more time. Yeah, it's unlikely. So yeah, Aragorn will charge these 2. He won't charge the Balrog. That leaves Gandalf free to drop his immobilize off. I'm gonna throw a normal point into this as well. Or do I throw even more? I'm going to drop 2 points of Gandalf's Will into this. This is such a Hail Mary. Okay, we got the 4 and 2 1s, so that was a joke. The Balrog has, you know, a zillion resist dice, but if he doesn't get the 6, I should be able to might it up. So he gets the 6. That was a waste of time. Okay, so Gandalf's now going to charge. Gandalf is going to charge over here, and Boromir is going to charge just into these guys. Gimli's charge. So okay, so it's Moria's turn now. So what the Balrog can do is just leap around the back and charge Boromir. Legolas is going to sprint. The 2 hobbits are going to sprint. What Leggy will have to do actually is charge those guys to keep the hobbits alive. Far out, man. Far out. This is a broken scenario. Did I take too long? Was it the way that I managed the movement coming down the stairs? I can't see how a Fellowship would ever survive this. Okay, let's do normal Goblin movement. So they'll wrap Legolas. Let's do combats and stuff. Aragorn will call a heroic. I'm gonna put him on 1. Oh, actually, Evil would choose. Yeah, we'll put him on 1. Leave the trap on Gandalf. So Aragorn fighting 1. This is with his real point of might now. He's first. He rolls a 5. The enemy rolls a 5, but he's got that sweet fight value, and he kills it. Down he goes. And now he's going to swing around into the 2 goblins at the back. If we can just deal with the goblins, then we can neutralize. The Balrog maybe. We'll do Gandalf next. He's fighting 2 goblins now, which is not good for him, but anyway. He is in trouble. He's not trapped. He takes a wound though, so Gandalf is a wound. He takes his fate and passes. So Gandalf's down 1 fate. Boromir's spent... Yeah, right, I need paper. Pen and paper. Damn Fellowship hero. So Aragorn has spent a might. So his might is down to 2. Gandalf has spent 1 fate. Merry and Pippin are dead. Gimli rather, has spent a might. Legolas hasn't. He's fine. And then Boromir has spent 2 might for the 2 heroic combats. So he is down to 4. This goblin is beyond enemy. Run. Yeah, tell me about it. Okay, let's do Gimli. Gimli, I need a bit of a performance from you here, because you've been a bit, let's face it, piss poor. And it continues. He gets a 3, the goblins get 5s, they get a 6, and a 4. Thanks, Gimli. You took a wound. Let's roll your fate. Try in the box this time. That's going to do. I'm going to take it. It's a 4. So Gimli saves, but his fate goes down to 1. I guess the silver lining is he's backing away towards the enemy. Right, Legolas fighting 3 goblins. Leggy fails. He's trapped. I'm going to spend a point of Legolas's might to win that fight. And I need 4s. That's better. We killed a goblin. And Legolas's might goes down to 2. I had to do that, otherwise he was in trouble. 6 attacks at strength 4, at strength 3, needing 5s. That was wounds on Legolas there. Okay, it's Boromir's turn. Oh no, we'll do Aragorn's follow-up combat. Aragorn charging in the 2 goblin spearmen. Might put this here, actually. That's a better spot for you guys to see it. Sorry. Aragorn clutches it with a 6. He only needs 4s now. 2 4s would be good. We only get the 1. Another goblin down. So we're killing goblins, but probably not at the rate fast enough as we need to. And that goblin will back away. Gandalf should have backed away. Alright, we have 1 fight left. And this is where it gets gnarly. We have 3 attacks for Boromir. We have 2 attacks for the goblins. Let's just start there. Okay, Boromir has clutched it with a 6. Double 6s, in fact. The goblins have also got a 6, so it's already tied fight value. But let's work out how the Balrog attacks, because he's whack. He's whack. So he has 4 attacks. So we're going to put him on the Gandalf dice. No, we're not. I've only got 4 of them. I'll just steal that dice. So he's going to be the Moria dice, or the Isengard dice. So he has 4 attacks. One of them is a special lash made with a fiery whip. When rolling to strike, use a different colour. So, the Balrog wins, of course, because of fight value. You don't know what I was talking about. So, Boromir is trapped, and he's taking 6 strikes, so that will become 12. Let's just do the goblin strikes to begin with, to keep it simple. So the goblins will need 6s to wound. So that's a wound on Boromir. He has no fate, of course. So that is a wound on Boromir. When rolling to strike, use a different colour to represent the lash. If the roll for the lash is sufficient to cause a wound, the enemy is momentarily entangled. This entitles the Balrog to make a further 2 strikes against the entangled model with its fiery blade. Yeah, okay, so he makes an extra 2 strikes if the lash wounds. Now, those won't actually double because, yeah, so you won't have this effect where you're turning 1 dice into multiple. So, yeah, let's roll normally. So this is doubled. He's strength 8, Boromir's d6, so he needs 3s to wound. So he's rolled 2 1s and a 4, so that's 1 wound and another wound with the fiery lash. We'll roll the same thing again. That's another 4 wounds, so he's just taken 6 wounds. Now both of those fiery lashes have wounded, so he'll take another 4 strikes. Okay, so he just took 6, so he's taken 9 wounds. So he just took 10 wounds, including the goblin. I'm thinking maybe Boromir's dead. Bye, Boromir. Boromir, Merry, Pippin, dead. How would Aragorn even survive that? No one would. He's a one-hit kill machine. Okay, priority. At this point, if I get anyone over the bridge, it's a miracle. It's 2s and 5s. It's 2s and 5s. It goes to the Fellowship. That's really important. Really important. So, I'm going to come over here and we're going to work out a plan. So, who suicides themselves this turn? I think it's going to be Gimli. Gimli, you're in. Gandalf, your main job now is skirting around the cardboard and getting ready. I'm gonna cast a spell with you, actually. I'm gonna blast this guy. So Gandalf is gonna cast just using my free. I'm gonna, on a 5-up, hit Sorcerous Blast, which kills him. There we go. We blasted a goblin. And then he's going to run around. These control zones are negated because Aragorn charges. He'll run around, and he's now at the bridge. So this turn, Gandalf's going to suicide himself. Next turn, Aragorn will suicide himself. The turn after that, hopefully Legolas, and then maybe Sam, and hopefully we can get Frodo and the others off the board. Legolas is going to run in here and charge these 2. That's all the heroes charge. Obviously, these 2 orcs will now pursue the hobbits. Which isn't the worst thing in the world, because I can create heroic combat slingshots. And then this goblin will charge Aragorn to set up for the trap. Okay. So. Let's go. Heroic combat time. Aragorn first. He spends his free. He rolls 5 high, and the 3 goblins, uh-oh, that's a bit worrying. They roll 4 high. Okay, so he wins. Oh, he's never going to get this heroic combat off. That was dumb. So he will need 4s and 5s. He gets a 6, so he kills 1 of them. Not too bad. I mean, probably not great, but whatever. It's fine. There's a free point in mind, we don't care. Okay, Legolas Fighting 2. It's 5s to Legolas, 2s to the goblins. Legolas fails to kill either of them. Not the results we need from the Elven Prince. I mean, he killed 7 goblins with shooting. We'll cut him some slack. Okay, Gimli. Gimli fighting a goblin and this other model. I'm not sure what model it is. It doesn't seem that important. Oh, it's the Balrog, is it? Oh, okay. Right. So, the Balrog, 6 high, and Gimli manages 4s. So, wounding time. Let's go. He's not trapped, which is nice, so he may survive. His defense 8, which means the Balrog's actually wounding him on 4s, so that is important. Let's do the little goblin attack. The goblin gets a 6, doesn't wound him. Geez, that would have been insane. So Gimli, if we remember, has 4 wounds, but only 1 fate remaining. So the Balrog makes 4 attacks. The white dice is the fiery lit. Will lash. He needs 4s. Above all else, we don't want to see a 4 on that white dice, that's for sure. Youch, okay. Gimli takes 2 wounds, and an additional 2 strikes with an additional wound. So Gimli takes 3 wounds, and he has 2 wounds, 1 fate. So that will finish him, even if he passes the fate, which he fails anyway. So Gimli dies. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Mark Drive says, plays by himself, gets super frustrated by his opponent and rolls. I hate Lockie, he's so annoying. Jamie Bell, shame it wasn't Faramir, Denethor. Okay, alright, what else have we got? What else have we got? That's it. Priority. I probably should have got Gandalf to kill a goblin that turn, but it's so unlikely. I think that was the right move. Okay, so, evil of 1, which means Aragorn needs to call the heroic combat to keep control. So Aragorn will call the heroic combat. Oh, that's really bad. I should have set Aragorn up so he was in range of Frodo and them. That's annoying. That's big time annoying. Alright, Aragorn's going to charge the Balrog. Now, because this Balrog's a huge piece of cardboard, these goblins can't see Gandalf, but obviously they should be able to. So they're gonna make a charge round on Gandalf. These hobbits are gonna get charged, 1 each, and those goblins are in. So, heroic combats. What do we do? Aragorn is gonna die. So we're not going to save any might for him. I think we'll have to call a heroic combat with Frodo and Sam, just on the off chance that either of them come off. We'll call a heroic... yeah, that's it. That's it, really. We need to kind of gamble and call a heroic combat with Legolas so I can get him close enough to charge the Balrog next turn. So your heroic combat's everywhere. Sod it. Let's start with Sam. Sam, if you ever needed to shine... Now was it. Okay, he wins the combat, but he needs... What is Sam's strength? 2 or 3? I think he needs 5s to wound, regardless. 5s to wound. Oh, Sam, you useless. Ugh. Alright, Frodo. Frodo fighting 1. The goblin gets a 6, so Frodo's gonna burn... oh, this is Glorfrodo. What am I doing? He gets a reroll. Yes, look at that. Rerolls up to a 6 and wins on fight value. Needs 5s to wound. He'll spend a point of might rather than wasting the reroll. So he kills him. The heroic combat goes off. So Frodo burnt 2 points of might that turn. And Frodo is legging it to the board edge. But staying out of range of 6 of the Balrog. Okay, so that was something positive at least. Let's do Legolas fighting 2. Legolas wins on 6s, and he now needs... Oh, this was a silly thing. I need double 5s. That's never going to happen. Yeah, 1s and 2s. That was a stupid heroic combat. I thought those guys were bowmen. We killed all them, of course. Alright, Gandalf fighting 2. He wins on fight value. And kills a goblin to boot. There you go, Gandalf. Giving us a chance. Giving us a chance. Give us a chance, precious. Give us a chance. Alright, let's do Aragorn. And the Balrog. And a single goblin. So the goblin is on 3s, so he means nothing. Aragorn. Come on. No, let's do the Balrog. Balrog is on 6s. Come on. Can't you just fail once, Balrog? Aragorn gets 5s anyway. Alright, Balrog gets it on 6s. Let's do the Goblin's Wound. Nothing. And now the Balrog. Now, Aragorn could survive this. It's 3s. So the Balrog does 3 wounds, and then an extra 2 strikes because he wounded with the lash. So the Balrog just did 5 wounds. Aragorn has 3 fate points. Okay, he passes 2 of the fate, and he's got 2 normal might left. So if he spends all his normal might, he will pass all 3 fate. Aragorn now has no might, no fate, and 1 wound remaining. That's really important, because his free point of might will still be there. Yeah, okay. This is, it's doable, but my goodness, the dice have to be kind. Okay, priority. The Fellowship really need this, because I did not want to have to call a heroic move with Aragorn's might. Damn it. Okay. Conveniently, Legolas is now in range, and I'm really intelligent, so I put Frodo in range, and out of range of the Balrog. Yeah, there we go. So, Aragorn will call a heroic move. He will suicide himself. Oh, actually, you know what? That's a better idea. We'll keep Aragorn alive. We'll throw Legolas into the Balrog. Frodo is just going to leg it to the board edge. Sam was out of range, so he just gets left behind. Gandalf wouldn't have been out of range, so he will have to move in such a way as to make that work. Which is annoying. So Gandalf is just going to pull back, and then he is going to blast... I think we'll just blast this goblin with Sorcerous Blast. He rolls a 4. I think we'll leave it. It's just a goblin. Okay, so the goblins can move. That goblin's out of range, but what he can do is come and block up the bridge like a little bastard. These gentlemen are going to jump on Aragorn and try and see if they can finish him on their own, and this guy will jump on Sam. Okay. There is still a way that this can happen. We've managed somehow to get Frodo and Gandalf to here. I think what's going to happen... Basically, I don't know if you guys can see this, but the best outcome right now is that all the Fellowship, except for Gandalf and Frodo, die. Frodo gets across the board, and then Gandalf kills himself. So at Moria, Frodo is alone. Oh, dear me, dear me. Okay. Let's do our combats. So Aragorn is now resourceless, so he can't call any heroics. He's fighting 3 goblins, and boy does he need to stay alive right now. He gets a 6, he gets a 5 rather, the goblins get 6s, and 1 wound and Aragorn dies, 2s and 3s. Oh, actually, Aragorn ain't trapped, because the other guys didn't have enough room to wrap him, so he survives. Okay, let's do Sam. I thought Aragorn was dead then, that was lucky. Sam loses the combat, doesn't take a wound though, but backs away towards his master. And now Legolas fighting the Balrog. Only the Balrog. Balrog, I dare you to not get a 6. I double dare you. Yes! Good work. Alright. Legolas, if you choke this opportunity, I will be I will be reviewing your employment in this fellowship. Good boy, Legolas. He rolls a 5, which he can might up to a 6. Thank goodness. Legolas wins a combat against the Balrog. Who saw that coming? Okay, Leggy's going to try and wound him. I don't know what he needs. Probably a billion. That's... Oh, he got a 6. Okay, this will matter now. He's defense 10. Leggy is strength 4. So that'd be 10s by 5s, I think. I think that's 10s by 5s. This is the great thing about the Balrog not having might and not having heroic combats like he does now. So 4 on 10 is 6 by 5s. So if I get a 5, the Balrog's wounded. No, nothing. Okay. Good work, Legolas. Good work. Alright, so Aragorn and Leggy are both alive when I thought they'd be dead, because I was just expecting one hero to die per turn. That's really big. Priority. The most important thing is that we still have Aragorn's heroic move, which we can use because he just lost the combat again. Legolas, you did such a good job. You're doing it again. Gandalf is going to charge this guy. Obviously, Aragorn should have moved first. He'll charge there, so that Gandalf can make that charge and stay within 6. Frodo will move 4. Sam will actually be able to move. So Sam's just going to move 4 to stop Aragorn from getting trapped on both sides. And Gandalf will fire Sorcerer's Blast as he runs in on that guy. Nope. So these goblins will obviously just pile in. I think they'll just focus on killing Sam, so that there isn't a future tie-up opportunity. Okay, Sam versus 2 goblins. Pull out that frying pan, son. You are sorely needed. Do not die. He gets a 6 and wins it on fight value. And clobber one of them. Clobber one of them. You legend, Sammy. Good boy. Potatoes. Alright. Aragorn fighting 2 goblins. He wins it on a 6. The Gorn ain't out of here yet. Needing 5s to wound these guys because they got the shields. Ooh, he takes one of them with him as well. Good boy. How's my camera battery? I'm getting very excited. Stay on top of that. Yeah, we're right. We're right. Okay. Yep. Sorry, guys. Don't make me laugh. Makes me cough. Oh, you cheeky bastards in the chat. Alright, so Aragorn splices that guy. Let's go to Gandalf. Let's keep sticking with the good news before we all watch Legolas die. Gandalf versus a dude. Ah, Gandalf lost the fight. Didn't take a wound, though. Didn't take a wound. Okay, Legolas. Fighting the Balrog. Let's set the Balrog again. Don't you get a 6. Ah, he got the 6, damn it. Alright, striking at Legolas. He needs 3s. Oh, whoa! He rolled 1, 2, 2, and the 2 is on the lash, which means he only scored a single wound. Legolas is going to spend a point of fate. He passes. So he's got 1 fate left. Wow, that's huge. Okay, Legolas has... Yeah, oof, that was pretty lucky. That was super lucky. Okay, let's do... I should be zoomed in by now so you guys can see. Sorry. Let's do priority. It'd be wicked if we could win one here and not have to spend Aragorn's thing. Ah, we lost priority again. Okay. Alright. Heroic move time. Gandalf is going to... Aragorn's going to move first. Dude, I'm getting greedy now. I'm envisaging these dreams of more heroes than just Frodo getting over the board. Frodo, this guy's going to fall back. Sam's going to fall back to guard Frodo. Yeah, Lego luck. Lego luck. I think Legolas is doing it. He's just going to charge the Balrog again. Why not? I think he has to take a terror check for this. There's a special rule that they don't have to take terror checks. Boom, problem sorted. So what would Aragorn do? Aragorn's on 1 wound. Leggy's got 1 fate left. I guess Aragorn should probably just go for a goblin, but I think I like the idea of just boxing out Frodo with heroes. Alright, Gandalf's going to charge this guy again, and then he's going to but before that he's going to cast Sorcerer's Blast at that one over there. Fails. Oh, that was the wrong dice. Gandalf dice only. Fails. And now the goblins can move. They're not in range of Sam, so he just has to stop there. He will be in range of Sam, though. Okay. Gandalf versus this 1 bloody goblin. Gandalf wins on a 6. Roast him, Gandalf. Yes, there we go. Right. The bridge is clear. The bridge is clear. Sam versus a single goblin. Sam loses it this time. Doesn't take a wound. Man, that was close. Guys in the chat, can you remember if... Sam has spent his fate? I can't. I can't remember. I didn't write it down. I think he already did, but just remind me if you guys can in the chat. Okay, so 1 combat left. 1 combat left. Let's see. Come on, Balrog. Don't roll a 6. Give us a glimmer of hope. He rolled 4 high. 1, 2, 4. Leggy, you have got this, son. Yes! Leggy rolled a 5! Okay, awesome. He hasn't spent his fate. Nice work, Legolas. Leggy is just dancing with this Balrog. Alright, Leggy's got... Yeah, we'll try and wound him, why not? No wounds, but who really cares? We have 5 members of the Fellowship alive right now! I have such aspirations! Priority. Yes! Alright, good have got it, good have got it. So, Frodo is going to sprint past Gandalf up onto the bridge. Sam's going to go with him. Gandalf is going to throw... he's going to throw a... What are we going to do here? Think. I'm going to throw an a Sorcerous Blast at one of those goblins. Ooh, hits him. Kills him. Nice work, Gandalf. Alright, and then he will, he'll just stay there, because there's no point in not falling back. Aragorn is going to jump into the last goblin, and Legolas is going to charge the Balrog. We've got this, we've got this, we've got this! Okay, let's do Aragorn's heroic combat, because he didn't have to spend his free. He's fighting one goblin. He rolls a 1, and a 2. You useless... naughty boy. And the goblin rolls a 4. And... Man, imagine if the goblin killed him. Oh, okay. Aragorn's still alive. Okay. Now, we've gotten very lucky with the Balrog. I don't think we're going to get that lucky again. Let's roll it one at a time. Does the Balrog get a 6? He gets a 1. He gets a 4. Oh, he got the 6. Bastard. Alright, Balrog's got the 6. Let's see if he wounds Legolas. He needs 3s to wound Leggy. This will be the end of Leggy, I think. So he just dealt 3... Sorry, guys. 3 wounds. Leggy has 1 point of fate left. Because I think he only starts with the 2. I'll just double check that, because it's going to matter. Legolas only starts with the 2. He's on 2 wounds, 1 fate. So yeah, that is the end of Leggy. The legend ends here. I like that. Alright, Leggy has fallen, but he did way more of a job than we were expecting. Another important priority, because I think we'll find, through my foolishness... Ooh, no, Gandalf is just out of charge range. Okay. It swings back to evil. So the Balrog... Does he... he could charge and, like, box out Aragorn. I think that's probably the better move. The Balrog's going to move to the bridge. He's just short of charging. We'll leave him there because he's overbalancing. And this goblin is going to charge... This goblin... I'm just going to charge... no. Tell you what, we'll actually just charge Aragorn and make sure he dies. Right, Frodo. 4 inches. Sam. 4 inches. You can bloody bet Gandalf's out of here. He's going to move back as well. Okay. Okay. One more combat for Aragorn and the Balrog. Sorry, I'm just going to pivot this around so you guys can see. Alright, is the Balrog going to roll a 6? Oh, he rolls it on the first dice! That's not it. That didn't happen. He just rolled another one! What the heck? He rolled 3 6s. Just to scorn me. Okay, Aragorn, that's not really going to do much for you, my friend. And the Gorn dies as well. Aragorn and Legolas have fallen. All 3 hunters finished. All that remains is the very beginnings of the Fellowship that were formed in the sitting room of Bag End. Sam, Frodo, and Gandalf. To be honest, it's one more character than I had hopes for about 15 minutes ago. John asks, are the move rate of the hobbits the slowest? Yes, they only move 4 inches. Alright, let's do priority. Okay, it goes to good. Now this is important, because I have enough move to move Frodo and Sam off the bridge. It is now Gandalf's move. He is going to cast... He's only used 2 of his natural store, so I'm going to spend 2, and I'm going to cast... You know what? I don't even care. So the way this works, to destroy the bridge has 3 wounds, and I just cast Sorcerous Blast at it, and then the amount of wounds that it does. If the spell is cast successfully, you just roll to see how many wounds are done. So it's D3. So 1 to 2 is 1 wound, 3 to 4 is 2 wounds, and 5 to 6 is 3 wounds. So potentially it could take me 3 times to cast this to end the bridge. And Gandalf and the Balrog may have to fight, which would be disastrous. So I'm just going to drop 2 in. I need a 5 up to get the cast off. He gets it on a 6. You beauty. Let's see how many wounds Gandalf's spell does to the bridge. We want a big Gandalf dice here. Come on, let's not even let the Balrog step on the bridge. Oh, big Gandalf 6. Oh, the downside of this is the Balrog's like, hey, what are you doing? I was meant to be on that bridge. So he'll just have to dive after him. So slightly off canon. Although I must admit, I think that we had bigger problems with the canon, in that every Fellowship hero other than Frodo and Sam is now dead. So, yeah, the Balrog not being on the bridge when it was exploded is probably the least of our problems. But yeah, wow, that was an absolutely insane game. I wonder what I could have done differently to give the Fellowship a better chance. Maybe I didn't optimize my moves down the stairs quickly enough. Maybe Legolas shouldn't have hung back and shot so much, although his shooting was insane, like without those 7 kills. Yeah. So I'm very exhausted actually. So what we're gonna do now, of course, is we're gonna spin the giveaway wheel. So let's assemble our little giveaway here. We have the Mines of Moria display stands. Well, they've all got named positions, don't they? So Gandalf goes there, Frodo goes there, Sam goes there. Where are my other heroes? They're over here. We've got a Boromir standing strongly at the front. We've got Aragorn in his beautiful Fellowship position. There's Legolas as well. And who died first? Oh yeah, Merry and Pippin. Gimli. Right, so we've got Gimmers over here, up on the top there. There's Merry. Now, Pippin died first, and I don't know where I bloody put him. He's around somewhere. But essentially, not that guy. One of our lucky patrons is now going to score all 9 of these models and this display stand, and I'll be chucking this in the post today, once I've confirmed your address, so maybe tomorrow. We're going to do the big old giveaway spin. So what I'm going to do now is just swing the camera back around and grab the giveaway wheel, and we will find out which one of our lucky Patreons finally manages to score themselves the full Fellowship and Balin's Tomb. Oh, I'm so excited to give this away. Alright, back in a sec, guys. Okay, let me just swing back to the chat. That was insane! Absolutely insane. What a game, guys. Sorry that took me a little bit to swing the camera back, but a whole bunch of you just pledged on Patreon, so I had to update the wheel, because if you pledged during the stream, you're still in the chance. So everyone who's just pledged in the last couple of minutes has been updated, which has been awesome. Man, what a scenario. So, the question I asked before I left was, do you guys think there was anything I could have done to made that easier on the Fellowship? So I'm just going to come in and see if anyone stewed on that. The goblins are all dead, that's true. We did cool air of all of them. Oh, I need my glasses, can't read this. We've got, you were very particular at the start with jumping, only able to get 2 over per turn. Yeah, I mean, maybe I could have, like, blown more might to turn 5s into 6s. There was a couple of opportunities where I thought about doing it to keep running them down. But, or maybe, oh, yeah, it was really, really tough. Imagine this scenario if anyone had died in the tomb. Liam, you're so right. It would have been insane. Insane. Yeah, very glad that didn't happen. I'll put my headphones on so I can make sure I'm not peaking with my overexcitement. There we go, that sounds better. Yeah, bonus draw for Steve the Balrog, says Liam. You know what? That's a great idea. I think we'll just put Steve in. If you get the Fellowship, you should clearly get Steve the Balrog, who they faced off against. I think that's a fitting pairing, so good suggestion, Liam. You'll win the Balrog as well as, you know, the Fellowship, whatever. But you'll get Steve the Balrog. He's the man. I've got enough of those cardboard things anyway. Alright, Fellowship only. So this will make for Wellgate, yeah. Alright, good luck to everyone. Pippin died for the well. Yeah, poor Pippin. He got wrecked. He got absolutely wrecked. Alright, my lads. I think early on, if you just kept running as much as possible, relying on the blinding light to keep the hobbits outside of the more resilient folk, maybe you would have made it down quicker. Maybe, yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. Alright, anyway. I don't know. I think broken scenario, frankly. Nuts. Absolutely nuts. Maybe it was the way I built the board. Maybe I built it a little bigger than it was supposed to be, but I don't think so. Look at this wheel, ladies and gentlemen. This is our big spinny spin. But before we spin, why don't we have a look at what you're winning? Look at this bad boy. So this is all 9 members of the Fellowship, the original metal sculpt, painted up beautifully by Michael Buchan from the Buck and Duck channel. So make sure you absolutely go and subscribe and check out his painting tutorials. The links are down in the description. He's not getting anything out of this. He's just a fellow Patreon like you guys and donated this because he loves the stream. So thank you so much, Michael. It kind of like spawned the whole idea of doing this big double Moria stream. So it was really fun. And to top it all off, you'll also win Steve the Balrog, who's just, you know, an incredibly powerful unit. He's insane. Now, whenever you use this model, you must always only use the original rules. You're not allowed to play with the modern rules when you use this cardboard cutout. It's written in stone that must happen. So, the lash double wounding, the insane magical resistance. That's how Steve plays. Let's spin the wheel. So, for those of you who may be joining us for the first time, how does the wheel work? Well, we spin it. It has everyone's names broken down into little sections of the pie, and then I'll pick a specific name by rolling a d20. So let's give this big boy a spin, and I'm not going to deafen you like I always do. Let's move my mic a little bit. He says deafening you. Alright, you ready? Can you see? Yes, you can see. I'll switch back to live view. 1, 2. I'm just going to take the mic down a bit. Alright, there we go. Alright, we are in pie section number 4. Is that number 4? Oh my god, you know what's hilarious? Guess who's number 1 in section 4? It's Michael Buchan from Buck and Duck. Michael made me promise if he won that I would respin it for someone else. He's like, I don't want my own models shipped back to me. Alright, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 of you in this pie section. Yep, always double count. I'm not getting that wrong. Okay, so let's just slide that over to the side for the time being. I have so little room with this new microphone setup. Far out. Okay. Let's let's get this camera pan down so you can see the desk. We're going to whiz out the D20. Now remember, a big 1 is is buck and duck. Is buck and duck. And if I get a 1, I will re-roll the dice. I got a 17, which is a re-roll, because we don't have anyone on 17. So what was it? I've already forgotten. It was 11, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. See, this is showmanship. I'm dragging it out here. 15, re-roll. Number 2! It was so close to 1. Let's pan up and have a look at who number 2 may be. On the 4th chestnut, the 4th chunk, it is Chris Peary. Well done, Chris. You are officially the new owner of the incredible Fellowship of the Ring set from Michael Buchan over at Buck and Duck. So this bad boy is coming over to you, Chris. If you're watching live or watching on playback, send me a message on Patreon. I'll be sending you one anyway, and I'll confirm your postal address. And that guy and this guy will be heading out to you momentarily. I've got to go off to the post office this afternoon to post a whole bunch of orders. So if we get in that quickly, it'll be coming very quickly indeed. So there you go, guys. Moria finished for now. So we've got, Kenny says, congrats, Chris, I hate you. That was good fun, hey. Those scenarios were really, really cool. How did you guys like the double battle report format? Usually we kind of break things up and we'll do like a painting a model, building terrain, and a battle report all in sort of smaller versions. But we did like a terrain stream and then a double bat rep stream. Was that something you guys enjoyed? Or do you like a mix, or do you like a mix of a mix? Do you like some pure battle reports, some a mix? Let me know down in the comments below. Yeah, definitely keen for any thoughts. If you've got any ideas on stuff you want to see, definitely let me know, and questions. What have we got? Sorry, what have we got coming up next? I don't actually know. So usually there's an order to this. We go one, then the other, and move sequentially through the magazines. But we've been leaping all over the place. Because we've had some special things come up. Obviously, Ian Holm passed away, so we wanted to do a Bilbo special. There was like a Moria, a Rohan double special that got out of order. And then when Michael sent me this thing, I was like, well, we got to do a big Moria special. So we leaped a few episodes forward. So why don't we find out what we did? So what was the most recent one that we'd finished? It would have been Gandalf, perhaps? Could have been Gandalf? So I think we might be seeing another white wizard. Ugh. Is it in this folder? Hey, it is. So, 14. What was 14? Oh, no. We might be up to 14, actually. So we might be jumping into some Rohan stuff? Riders of Rohan, maybe? Or are we in Saruman? Yeah, I think we've got some Rohan stuff coming up next. And we've got, like, we're working towards a pretty cool scenario where we've got like Aemir and the Riders, so it's either Aemir or the Riders of Rohan next, something of that vein. For those of you who may be joining us for the first time, these happen every fortnight, so the next one will be in 2 weeks' time on this same time slot. It's usually 7 AM Monday morning my time, which is 10 PM UK time, or 11 PM Central Europe. And then I usually put up an image, but it's evening for most of the world and morning for us over here down in the Australia and New Zealand. So thank you so much for joining us. Let's see what you guys said in the chat. Some people like a mix, some people like the stuff separated. Well, I'll probably just keep doing it as it inspires me from each magazine and what suits the mix better. If you haven't joined our Zorpazorp Facebook community group, definitely head over there. There's a link down in the description. We throw up, you know, all sorts of photos and stuff in there from the streams and also everything else that's going on. It's a great little community, actually. It's really buzzing. We've got one question. Pokes says, hey Zorp, battle companies can Rangers of the North buy heavy armor. So I think you're talking about Dunedain. Rangers of the North come with heavy armor, that's why they're defense 5. Rangers of the North... Wait a minute. Yes. No. Rangers of the North start with armor, and so you can buy them. Oh man, now I can't remember. There is a specific thing. So it's Rangers of the North don't have armor. So but they start at defense 4. And they're not allowed to buy armor or heavy armor. Whereas Rangers of the North, which would be defense wearing armor at D5, they can upgrade to D6. Something like that. Check out some of my battle companies things where I run Rangers, and you'll see the answer. But yeah, I know that Dunedain can't buy it because they don't have any armor at the start, which is the tricky one. Yes, yeah. Oh, right. I don't think you can because you need someone with heavy armor initially. That's a great point. There's no one in that company who is able to wear heavy armor, so there's no heavy armor in the Ranger Armory. Of course. Thank you so much, George Ramstead. That's why my Rangers never got heavy armor. So you can't buy it for them, because you don't have it in your armory. Anyway, good little segue. Any other questions while I'm here before I fire off? Matthew says, do you know how long it is till the next Geonosis episode? So we haven't even started filming that yet. I've still got some key pieces to make. There's going to be a crashed lat gunship in the center of the board, so I'm currently getting bits of old toys and things for that, so that we can make and I'll do a little terrain video on that. So that's got to come out first, and then I also need to do I need to paint up some other because we're using some more non-standard units, finding some old toys. I've got some dwarf spider droids that we're going to use from the old Star Wars miniatures range. I think that might be the only custom stuff. And then I've got to do a conversion because Obi-Wan is riding a speeder bike. So there's a little bit more intense stuff going into that one. So I would say I'm hoping to film it within a month. So it might be 6 weeks, 8 weeks away, maybe 6 weeks. I would love it to be out in 6 weeks. Elliot said, thanks for pushing through with the sickness. Aaron says, any 40k battle reports that come with 9th? Of course. Just got to get some models painted first. So we've basically Crusade, narrative campaigns. That's what 40k is going to be for me. So, yeah, it's going to be really cool. Got to get my Blood Ravens painted. Got to get my Necrons painted. And then that'll be the first little window as we do some... I don't know how much to spoil. I'm going to stop talking. I don't want to spoil stuff. And then further down the track, we have an awesome narrative campaign coming up as well, which is sort of like... my dream campaign that I love so much. Liam asks when the next ISO Minas Tirith will be. That is one of the next videos I'm doing, actually. So what have we got? I've got a couple of edits that are half done, with which is just two more 40k painting tutorials, and then we're jumping into an awesome collab with quite possibly one of my favorite YouTubers and favorite people for the ISO Minas Tirith project. So that is coming up within like a couple of weeks. So yeah, they're awesome. Elliot says when the next battle companies will be. I can't film battle companies at the moment because of COVID-19. So season 2 of battle companies will kick off probably 2021 at the moment with the way the world is. We just want to play it as safe as we can unless it gets safer very soon. But it's not looking like that here in Australia. It's kind of going a bit shit again. So we'll see. We'll see how we go. But yeah, thank you so much for tuning in, dudes. I'll just check that there hasn't been any other questions. Is there a Balrog painting discussion? I'd love to paint a Balrog. I just don't have one. So that's definitely in the future. I'd love to do one. Such a cool opportunity to do like object source lighting. Yeah, it was such a really, really cool model. I'd love to get one of the old metal ones with the metal wings. Yeah, that New Zealand Ginger says, just come to New Zealand, we're pretty safe here. Funnily enough, I would have been in New Zealand right now on my honeymoon if not for COVID. So I would be, but unfortunately we just can't get there because Victoria keep getting worse and they won't open the Trans-Tasman bubble, so we can't come over to New Zealand at the moment. Might be quite a while away, unfortunately. But yes, stay safe everyone in Melbourne. Good luck. Alright, see you guys on the stream in a fortnight. See you in the next video within probably 36 to 48 hours, because I got to pump some stuff out. Stay tuned. Thank you so much for watching. This has been awesome. We're getting like really great viewership now. Lots and lots of people tuning in and staying for the most of the stream, which is super empowering. So thank you guys, and I will see you next time right here on Zorpazorp Gaming. Cheers, guys. Oh, wait, I've got to click end stream on YouTube, not vMix. Alright, now I'm going. Bye. Get off the screen. Okay.